Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host, Bill Cox. Happy to be here on a Thursday evening. Hopefully, everybody's in good spirits and healthy. My interviewee to get the show started off isn't doing too well, but we'll see how he's doing in a few minutes. But obviously, it was a eventful weekend last weekend with the Comic Art Live show, our eighth, and it took a couple days to kind of recover. I'm almost caught up with my emails. Actually, I probably still got another couple days to weed through and reply to, but things are moving aggressively forward now with the plans for OAX and things. Lots of things honestly going on, but outside of that, yeah, everything's been going rather well. I caught up on my sleep. That was the most important thing. I slept 9 hours a couple days consecutively, which was wonderful. And beyond that, man, I'm ready and raring to go. Obviously, we've got the show tonight. I've got Fred Hembeck on Saturday at 2 p.m. Everybody, just so you're very well aware, it is the 18th and not the 17th, not the 19th or 20th. It is the 18th this Saturday at 2 p.m. Fred Hembeck will be on there. I was on the phone with him earlier, trying to walk through some of his technology stuff to try to make sure he's up to speed. Still have a few wrinkles to work out with him, but we definitely will make that show happen this Saturday. So as you know, I've got Tom Layton ready and raring to go in the green room, and we have a video clip from his recent week in Seoul, where he got to sample some interesting foods. There were no fish penises or anything like that, unfortunately, yet, but I guess they're not in season. But we do get to see a few of the dishes that he tried this past week, and then we'll see his most recent drink and draw, where Joey actually took his first crack at doing some artwork. You'll see the Hulk near the end, and that is Joey's work of art. So here we go. Let's take a look at where in the world is Bob Layton.
So, Joey, what are we eating here? I'm recording this.
맛있게세요.
We're eating chukumi.
쭈꾸미. 네.
And what is chukumi?
쭈꾸미 is these little octopi.
I'm not. It's video.
Yeah.
With Master Sheehan.
In a spicy sauce. It's delicious.
Okay, let's get to it. So here we are. I'm going to put together a. This is a sesame leaf, right? And I'm putting on some various toppings on that. Put a little noodle in there as well. And then we kind of wrap it all up, and it goes into your gob. Okay, guys. All right. So, Joey, what is this souffle looking thing?
This is keranjin.
And what is that?
Steamed eggs.
Steamed egg. It's like a souffle, right? Why does it rise up like that? Okay, here, take a big old bite. Okay. You can say it though.
What? It's
Hey,
morning
guys.
time?
Here we are, we're Drink and Draw. Yet another episode. Simone just got here. Sober still.
Sober.
Not for long though.
And quite cranky.
Anyway, we have the Korea Herald here tonight. They are filming. I will show you later as we progress, but tell them the sort of vague thing that the Korean Herald was doing.
So the Korean Herald wants us, and also we're planning, I think it's a good prompt to draw our characters getting accustomed or getting used to everyday Korean life. So if you were Batman and used to his 50, what does he have? What kind of car does he have? I forgot.
Any kind of car he wants.
I know. Okay, let's go with Chevy or Honda Civic.
Yeah,
his 50 Honda Civics. Instead of his Honda Civics, he gets into a super cramped subway at like 8 a.m. in the morning.
Yep. All right. So anyway, you'll see as the night goes on. But basically, it's your personal life in Korea through the eyes of a character. So there you go. So more later, guys.
Overtime.
Go drink.
Say more.
If you came to Seoul Comics Week, you had a chance to meet Danny Kim. And Danny Kim,
Yeah. Yo, Danny.
And
Samnida, Danny.
just yesterday, it was announced that Danny is the interior artist for next year's new Ghost Rider series. So so he did Wildcats, and Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal. It was really cool. And Batman. Yeah. So Christmas is going to be a Batman series. So you'll be seeing a lot more of him later. He's really getting a lot more work and getting recognized. So
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for coming. Also.
That's Tammy. You're from Korea Herald, right?
Yes, we're all
You're
from
here
Korea.
filming, and you're all here filming this. Are you drinking? Good. You're drinking. That's good. That's really important, you know. And
Give me your paper, nerd.
what?
Give me your paper.
What
I
paper?
don't have a paper.
What paper?
I need a paper to draw on.
Oh, it's on the table by Joey.
3, 2.
Hey, Tom, how's it going?
I'm just Bob today.
All right, just
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah, it's like the Tom part of me is not feeling well.
Oh,
So
man. Sorry to hear it.
I'm fighting off a little flu bug, but I'll be fine. You know, famous last words, right?
Exactly.
Hey,
Yes.
Cousin left my drawing off. He put Joey's in and left it. I mean, it's my segment, and he didn't put my Iron Man in.
How did
You
that
know?
not happen in there?
I don't know.
We'll again,
flying
Kaz
over
was the
the
easy one to
tower.
blame for that.
I did Iron Man flying over the Seoul Tower. You know, just showing me bringing.
Oh, he put that one in in the OAX set.
Oh,
I
Hey,
could show that because I did have it queued up right here.
hey, congratulations to you. Yeah, there it is. That's what I did. Was me bringing Iron Man to Korea. You know, that's the Seoul Tower, and yes, with Master Shien's bobblehead.
Mhm.
Hey, listen, before we go any further, congratulations on last week's virtual con, man. I heard it's crazy. What, 20,000 attendees?
Yeah, believe it or not,
Wow.
there's a lot of people that turn out. Not as many buyers as we've had in the past, but you know, it's still a big show, and the weekend was fun, and we had good.
You had over 300 exhibitors.
Yeah, we almost had 330, I think, and we had
That's
6,700 pieces of art for sale. So yeah,
that is, man. Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, those are all records for us
Out there
too.
for supporting it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. It's everybody in the audience was shopping or selling during the show. That's for sure. I even picked up a piece of art. I don't have it yet, so I can't talk about it or show it off.
Yeah, our pal Joey, even though his Hulk showed up tonight, he was busy with some domestic stuff today because apparently his refrigerator died and everything in his fridge went bad. So you know, he's like, because we were both exhausted after last night. Drink and draw was just taxing because we had so many people. It was like one of the biggest turnouts we've ever had, as you could see on the tape.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't feeling great, so it was like my feet were like lead walking home last night, And I said, Joey, I go, look, you got stuff to take care of or whatever. I said, why don't you just take a break? I have Hulk, I have your Hulk, representing, So I said, just take this week off. It's fine, I know
That's
you
good.
have
He's
a lot
probably
of.
watching back at. Well, he's probably not
Well,
even up yet.
no, I hope he isn't because he hasn't been getting a lot of sleep with Cleo being in Vietnam with her parents right now. It's like after Joey got back from the States, she needed a break from running the place for a month by herself.
Hmm.
So she went off to Vietnam with mom and dad. So he's living the single guy life there in his apartment, having to take care of the cat. What I love is that they have a camera set up so they can watch the cat while they're in Vietnam.
Just make sure it's okay.
Yeah, because Cleo is such an animal lover, that she wanted to be able to keep an eye on her cat. So they have like a cat cam, which I think is just hilariously wonderful. So so I told him just to take the day off. I wasn't feeling that good. I didn't want to contaminate him anyway in case I am fighting off the flu. This happened a couple times before, and I had like 24 hours where I felt like crap, and then I bounced right back. I have a killer immune system.
So you're in the crap stage right now.
Yeah, I'm just.
You'll be better.
Last night was terrible. I feel better today, but still, it's like I'm not going to be around humans for a day or two. Just out of respect. But otherwise I'm fine. It's been a rough week for me because I've been waiting for 2.5 weeks. I've been waiting on that friggin' printer. I
was going to ask you about the printer.
Finally showed up. It was this Joey and his people have been calling them, and it finally showed up 2 days ago, right? So Joey comes over to help me set it up or whatever. We plug it in. It doesn't work.
Oh, no. So you've been sitting there having a defective printer sitting next to you all this time.
Well, not only that, but yeah, it's like, so I got one printer from Germany that only scans. It doesn't do anything else. And I got another printer who's the ignition on it or the stop start thing is broken. So I got to send that back to the States. So they found me a Korean printer that may do the job, and it should be here in a day or two. It's just crazy because I can't recreate logos. There's like a million things. I couldn't even. I had a document I had to send to Michael Lovitz, right? On renewing my trademarks and stuff. I couldn't print it out. I had to have Joey print it out and walk over to the store and get it. It's so frustrating, man. I mean, there are I love Korea. Don't get me wrong, but there's certain things like this little rascal here. You can't buy this in Korea. Nobody uses a drawing board.
Mm-hmm.
They're all digital here. So I found one drawing board in Korea. It was $800 for this little crap. Yeah, it was like some sort of rarity. Most people don't even know what it is.
Jerry says that he thinks that the world is trying to tell you to come back to the U.S.
Well, I am coming back. That's a great segue, Jerry. Thank you. I'm coming back for OAX, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, you've been getting a few commissions still. I mean, the commission app for you is open still over on the OAX website, oa-expo.com. You can still commission Bob. I know. Let's see here. I can share that screen again and show off a few that I think you've been working on. So we get that
pile of stuff. Well, Joey gave me a bunch of blank covers. So I've been doing blank covers this week.
Oh, cool.
For the most part, right? So the last ROM sold. Somebody in the shop bought it. So I did. I have a whole stack of ROMs, and I love doing them. I mean, it's like I was cover artist on ROM for about 7-8 issues. And I did 2 interior stories with Steve Ditko. So I got some history with ROM.
Yeah,
and I just love drawing him. He's like fun. So yeah, I did that.
One of your Ditko inked pages was up for grabs somewhere recently.
Is that right?
I can't remember where. Yeah, I don't remembe what auction house had it, but
yeah,
to go back and look.
In one of them too, so that was double fun. So did a little tribute to Jack Kirby there with the Hulk. Joey found one Hulk sketch cover, so I I got this whole series where I do like a cameo in the background. You saw remember the Flash and Batman and
Yeah.
that stuff. So I'm trying to do a whole series of those. That I can bring to OAX. That have a cameo and then an action figure. So yeah, that was the Hulk when I did Gray Hulk in the background. I figured good thing. This is 11 by 17. I said I would just do an Iron Man with all the supporting characters.
Sure. That's a 6-character commission right there, Bob.
Yeah, that's going to be available at OAX as well. I'll be bringing that along. So this I did yesterday. Joey found a Daredevil. And I go, I've only done a couple of Daredevil drawings in my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
I did 2 covers of Marvel. Yeah, that was about it. Because Frank and Klaus pretty much dominated the old Daredevil routine while I was there.
Right.
So it was kind of fun to take a shot at him. I had done one with him looking all moody, sitting somewhere, and I said, "Nah, I want to do something kind of action-packed and fun." So the paper was crap. I mean, you can't see my, the fact that that's certain paper. I don't know if they ever test it or not before they actually print these things. But this was a bleeder, but I still got it to work. I mean, I got a clean enough line that I could get it to work. So
sure.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Well, I think we had 1 or 2 other ones. Yeah. That's a nice one too.
Cameo series that I'm doing. Yeah. So the Silver Centurion, which seems to be the most popular Iron Man armor with the fans. Whenever I do them, they lose their mind. But I'm doing a whole set of these like cameo covers, with an action figure and a head, portrait in the background. So, because it's kind of fun, I kind of like doing something that has a format to them. So I'll be bringing all of those along with the DC ones I already did,
right,
to OAX.
Well,
what else did I do? I forget.
Everybody's gonna have to rush over to your table then, because they're getting the preview here with us.
$500 a pop, they'll go fast.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I remember, Jerry Bourne, you did have a commission request go in. I'm sure Bob's got it. I don't remember what the character was, or I'd bring it up with him right
Jerry,
now.
Remind me, because some of them I haven't been able to get back to you because I don't, like you said, don't have a printer. Recreations are difficult because
I know it was 11 by 17. I remember that, but I don't remember what the character was.
Well, I have responded to everybody, whether they got the email or not, I don't know, but I have responded to everyone who's written me.
Even my wife, who sent you a test.
I know. By the way, tell her she's got to send that money in.
I will. I actually left it in the list, her test, because she said she really liked your work. So I might go back to her and say, well, do you want Bob to do something? I mean, he's available.
That's much appreciated. Thank her for me.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's that this week's offering. I'm trying to do a little bit of something every day. I'm limited to what I can do by obviously the lack of mechanical devices here and things like that. But that's why I've been just this week concentrating on the covers, the blank covers and everything. But as soon as I get the new printer, I'll be able to print out logos and do full recreations and stuff like that.
Jerry says it wasn't a recreation. It was he's not going to tell, but he said he sent an update for asking for a second character on the 11 by 17. So maybe you just haven't gotten his email yet. But if not, I know
Jerry, was that Jocasta?
He doesn't want you to say. Remember, he doesn't want you to say.
Well, I did respond to him, so it's like you better check his spam. Because the trouble is it's coming through the OAX site, right? So a lot of times, because it's coming from a commercial site, it'll go right into your spam folder. I found that out with a couple of people. So
he said so you did reply to it. So maybe it did get spammed down.
What do you think of what?
Hey, we know you're a professional, Bob. I mean, look, you've been knocking out these commissions. I think you've got 9 or 10 commissions come in so far, and you've done almost all of them.
Almost. You got a few, but I respond to everybody. It's like if I can't do it for some reason, somebody wanted to have me do something with a likeness of a person in Iron Man, and I'm like, and they wanted it by Christmas. I said, well, with what I got the work schedule I have already, there's no way in the world I can get that out of Korea and over there by Christmas time,
right?
Because it's first come, first serve, right? So I got enough on my list right now. There's just no way I can do that. So it's like, but yeah, I still have 3 weeks in January, before I leave for OAX. So that those 3 weeks are still available. So you have plenty of time to get something in.
So Jerry's just making sure. So you got the request for the second character with Jocasta.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna bust my balls, but yeah, I got it.
There you have it, Jerry.
Well, because it never fails that it's something that's going to be really complex to draw. Because
was it Jack of Hearts? Maybe?
No. I would
Not
I
that
would
complicated.
I would turn that commission down. Okay, that was a costume that only Keith Giffen could love.
Mhm.
It's like I've only done a couple of him, and it's just painstaking. But there's other characters that are equally bad. What Jerry came up with is going to be very time consuming. That's why he's not going to get it cheap.
I can't wait to see it.
Because keep in mind, guys, when I do these things, it's really the cost is about the time. How much time it takes for me to do something. So if somebody asks me to do Hulkbuster, right? Okay, you're going to have to pay more for that because that thing takes friggin' forever. If you want it done my way, right? And the trouble is, no two artists draw Hulkbuster the same. So when I go to looking for reference, it's absolutely impossible to find an entire figure where you can reference it and it's drawn clearly where you can see it. Because it's so big, it's usually obscured by stuff. So everybody just kind of makes it up. There's like 8-9 versions of the Hulkbuster armor around.
It just looks right when it's to scale. That's all.
Yeah,
Well, Jerry mentions that that it's not in his spam, so maybe hit reply or forward your last one to him just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, well, I'll do that, Jerry, when I get off here. Okay.
Yeah, and you can always forward it to me too. Just on the whatever. If it doesn't make it to him, I'm happy to be the go between for that too.
Yeah.
But I know you need to get that printer because I remember like 6 or 8 months ago, Nick was always having those cover recreations of yours over.
Yeah, he wants a couple of new ones, and I can't do them for him until I can print out color logos.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I can't even print black on this German thing. I can print. I can do. Nothing but scan on it. I sent for a cartridge from Germany and it came. I put it in and it doesn't work. It accepts the cartridge, but it won't print black. So those sneaky Germans. What can I tell you?
I get it. Epson. Yeah. I'm not gonna. I finally got my shipment of Epson certified ink cartridges, so I can print on my printer again after that firmware update.
Epson they are insidious, man, because they for various regions they fix those cartridges so you can't use a European cartridge in an American Epson, even if it's the same model.
Mm-hmm.
You can't use it. They create these things so it can only be done regionally. So that's why I need a Korean, American-made, Korean-based computer. Printer, so I can still get cartridges here and all that sort of thing. The other thing I can't find because so like with Sean Clancy, where I'm doing these cover recreations for him, right, black and white. They don't have rubber cement here. Apparently it's considered a hazardous material. You can't get rubber cement. Joey's going to try to contact the because I have to do old-fashioned mechanicals with the cover recreations, the old model white ones. I have to do hand mechanicals, and I can't do that without rubber cement, and apparently that's considered a hazardous material and they don't let it in, So
they have to have a replacement. They got to have something that's archival and will work for that.
They've never had a comic industry like we've had, so they've never had to do like hand mechanicals and stuff. You think about Korea and their rush into modern pop culture. Everything is has been digital here for 20 years or better. So all these young guys, I mean, like they come to drinking draws. Well, probably one of the first times they've ever drawn on paper, dude. You know, their whole lives. I mean, other than being in kindergarten or something. So yeah, it's a different experience here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to smuggle in rubber cement at some point.
I don't want to know how you're going to do that, but make Joey do it. He can be your mule.
Well, the thing is, they at the military bases they have a lot of American stuff, So it's just possible they might, because I'm talking about the Bestine rubber cement, right? It's in the little plastic thing with the brush on it, right?
Of course.
I can't paste up the logos like the old Marvel comics without that rubber cement, and apparently it's nowhere to be had here. Other than that, Korea's a fun place,
Indeed, it is.
Yeah, we're going to get our first snowfall. They're predicting sometime tonight, which means if all the K dramas are true, that I will fall. If I'm out there, some woman will come up and immediately just start kissing me, because that's what happens in every first snowfall in the Korean dramas. There's always a kiss. So if I just sit outside in the snow long,
you better run outside. It's the first snowflakes.
Because it's Korean tradition, apparently. Anyway, so yeah, not much else.
Lots of men in the streets when the snow starts to fall.
Yeah, it's colder than balls this week. I mean, it was. For a Floridian like you and me, right? It was just piercingly cold. So it was a good thing that Unso took me shopping last week, because I definitely had to break out the heavy gear. So
pick up a few more scarves.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I brought a bunch of those because I like to look cool, fashionable.
I know.
So
it's your signature style.
It is my style.
I've seen you on the red carpet many times.
It's not like that lout Tom Layton. That bastard, do you wear anything, man? What's Cosra's texting me, man?
What is he? He's probably telling you to speed it up, right? Because he's my producer.
Just resent the email and copied me. Okay, Jerry. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, he's hoping I don't have COVID. Okay, well, I don't have COVID. Okay,
you tested for that. Well, that's good.
Plus, I got enough vaccine in me to kill a horse. Before I left I've had 3 boosters. Okay, so it's like I told you before I left the States, because of my age. I know I look great, but I'm actually old. They made me fill out a will and take a full physical. My doctor wouldn't clear me to leave until I had a full physical done. And all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm in good shape. Otherwise, I think I'm just a little under the weather.
Well, we want you to get better so that you'll be. Is he still bugging you?
He was hoping I had an STD, is what he said. That would have been more fun, actually, Cass. The one thing about this trip is I haven't really had any romantic encounters, which is, again, I attribute to the fact that I'm 70 fucking years old.
That might have something to do with it.
Yes. That's why
they gotta have
songs about love at 70. So anyway, and it's a shame too, because listen, Korea, there's so many beautiful women here. It's ridiculous. When you say a drink and draw, all the pretty girls that are drink and draw. I mean, it's like
right. Well, there are a lot of retirees back here in Florida. You know that. So I'm sorry.
No, I didn't. Anyway, so yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back. I booked my flight, as you know, my flight's booked. I'm ready to go, so I will be there for OAX. So, and we still are going to have this. I don't have the dates on the CGC signing yet, but I'm going to be doing that as well while I'm there. So
yeah, the Kazra's cracking the whip on those guys over at CGC. They're a little unresponsive. So I think
Spencer's been dealing with them too. So it's like between the two of them, it's something to get done. But for those people out there to have those books, it's the last shot to get me to do those, at least in the States, because with the strike being over, I talked to my director, and he thinks he'll have firm information about when we start production by the end of December. So 70 is the new 40. Thanks, Josh. So does that mean I get to date 40-year-olds?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right, on with the show, man. Enough of
All
me.
right, Bob. Listen, you take care of yourself, and we'll see you. Well, next week is Thanksgiving, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes,
we're going
it
to be
is.
doing Thanksgiving from the comic
Yeah.
shop. Joey's
Okay.
gonna.
Yeah, that'll be
Joey
fine. I
has,
am going to do a show next week. I didn't tell anybody
right,
that,
okay.
but it'll be a shorter show. But we'll definitely, if you're free, I'd love to have you on for it.
No, because what we're gonna do is he's doing what I used to do with Valiant. It's like I used to throw Thanksgiving for all the ones who couldn't go back home, all the artists in Nabro go back home at my place. I would, I had it catered. I didn't sit there cook turkey or whatever. But Joey's actually making Thanksgiving dinner for all the expats who come to the shop. So it's the CAF giving.
Capsgiving.
Yes. I like that. Listen, I want my porkgasm meme, okay? A porkgasm!
That's right. You know what? I totally forgot to do that. I'm writing that in all caps now.
I want porkgasm!
Porkgasm.
I still shows the commercial's still running. It cracks me up every time it's on, man. It's like
nothing like pig snout.
Television is a hood, man.
For Thanksgiving.
All right, so we'll have a special Thanksgiving episode of
we will.
Where in the World is Bob Layton from the comic shop next week, as well as Drinker. We're doing Drink and Draw and the Thanksgiving buffet. So there you go.
All right, Bob. We'll see you next week.
And also, Simone will give you a large, detailed analysis of the genocide that Thanksgiving represents to Koreans.
I know. I remember her saying something about that. Yes.
Well, she got Chuseok. It was Thanksgiving without the genocide. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's incredibly funny. Anyway, love you, man.
All right, love you too, Bob.
Always.
See you in a week.
All right.
Yeah, Porkgasm. That's like a sequel to Porky's, right? Or Porky's Revenge. Wasn't that the sequel? So Porkgasm was the third installment that has yet to be seen. I think is what that is. So yeah, well, we hope Bob's feeling better. I'm sure we'll be able to see some new commissions from him. Maybe Jerry's, maybe not. I don't know, but we will see. But speaking of art, we've actually gotten in some scans from some of the artists who were completing their mystery sketches, and I know I had Ben Templesmith's, but I forgot to move them over. Apologies to Ben, but I did get his the three that he did. But I have three from Dan Burton, and they're packed and coming to me right now because I'm shipping his out, as well as Jeff Isherwood's as well. He completed his and sent them along to me as well. So let me see here. I can actually have to stop a few screens here and start a few screens, but so some of you may actually see some of the pieces that you got. Where is it here? Share. And maybe at some point here, I'll try to find a way to get Ben's over here too. But so we have a Mobius Star Watcher character here. And this is from Jeff Isherwood. He put these in the mail Wednesday, I think. So I should probably have these tomorrow or on Saturday. So you can expect it in the mail, whoever got this one, early next week. Then a Carol Day. Now, I do think this is somebody in the chat got this one because I know who asked for it, because there was only one Carol Day request. So I do know who got that one. And obviously very, very nice. Carol Day, of course, they had the pre-sale going on that Slingsby for the Slingsby book that ended yesterday. So very nice from Jeff on that one. And what was his other one? I forget. Drizzt. So there you have that as well. Very nice. Yeah, Jeff, this is Jeff's first time doing the mystery sketch with us. So very nice work. Of course, these are all 9x12, as most of the mystery sketches were. Yes, Josh Flanders is giving the woohoo on that one because Josh was the gentleman who picked up, I'll show her again, Carol Day right there. So congrats, Josh. And Josh picked up more than one of these. So that's a fantastic piece. Jeff was really... Jeff was happy to do these because, it's characters out of the norm. He and I emailed a few times about it. And he was definitely very happy to get a Carol Day piece to do. Yep. Let's see here. What else? Oh yeah, I got a couple here from Dan too. So Dan, as fate would have it, got a couple deaths. So we got death again, and very very nicely done with her top hat, and another one, and what was the other one that he got? A Doctor Doom. So and we had like 4 Doctor Dooms this time around, and I know that this is not for the gentleman who got a Doctor Doom from Dan the last time, because that was because when people were talking about trying to not get the same artists with the same characters, when I was reshuffling and randomizing the lists, I made sure that the person who got the Doc Doom from him last time did not get it again. So congrats to whomever got those, because honestly I don't know. I just know who didn't get this one. But all good ones, and I'll have to see. Like I say, I'll try to move. I think they're in my email, the ones that Ben Templesmith got done. But Ben had them in the mail on Monday, just so you know. So some people will be getting their mystery sketches incredibly early, which is awesome. And have I got any updates from other people? Not really. I don't think I have. But obviously I'll start inquiring with Tatiana and Mark and Jiggy. I'm not going to pester them until next Monday, just to be like, all right, start cranking them out. Let me know where we're at with stuff. But yeah, those were all good ones. Jason hasn't seen his yet. Well, Jason always gets the same character, I think. But I don't know who got yours. So no, I do remember it was an artist. So it must be one of the other 2. I don't know, but we'll find out. What do we got here? Tell Jason to go to Barnes and Noble. Sure. So scratching those off there. So Comic Art Live, obviously we can talk, a little bit. Well, we've talked about it to death, right? We had a really nice collector conversation that Larry ran on Monday. I thought there was some really nice feedback given by them. I was taking notes because I was in the well, I wasn't in the green room. I was in the audience with you all watching it. But by and large, everything went pretty well. I got different feedback from a couple different individuals. Always something interesting happens. Somebody who emailed me wanting to know what was it, that I think the seller had listed that they only wanted to take friends and family from their as PayPal transactions, and the buyer wanted to use PayPal regularly, and said that they would have been happy to pay the PayPal fees themselves, but the deal ended up just not happening because the seller was just adamant, only friends and family, and no, not going the other route, even, and so it wasn't even offered that they that maybe the buyer pay a 4% service fee or something like that to complete the transaction. So they were like, is this normal? Is it because I don't have art in my CAF? Which I mentioned to the guy too. He's a 4-year member of CAF, but doesn't have any art in his gallery. And that's always something I know people look for. I'd like to think that when you're looking and seeing if a person doesn't have art in their gallery, that you also look to see how long they've been a member of CAF. Because if somebody's been a member of CAF for 4 years, this isn't like a long play scam setup with somebody. They're definitely a regular member. As I always tell everybody, more than half of the people that log into CAF every month don't have any artwork or don't have an active gallery. So we do have many, many, many members that don't participate in that way. So, but that gentleman also said that they did buy something from someone else, and they mentioned, and I said, well, that's good. Make sure they leave you feedback, because that's the other thing built into the system, that okay, if you're not going to show artwork in your CAF gallery, at least you can show that you have bought artwork from somebody during Comic Art Live and you got a positive feedback from it. So Jason says he had to take goods and services on one. Arg. Yeah, it is what it is. Taxes. I get it. But at the same time, people, don't want to get scammed as buyers either, right? So their interests are in, protecting themselves too. So it works both ways at the end of the day, with regards to, taking the money. But I get it. I totally get it. So Alberto says he got a Zek. You got the Zek page in the mail today. That's a fast turnaround too. Fantastic, Alberto. I would have to believe that a lot of people are going to start seeing their artwork turn up. I don't know when mine is. I'm going to have to email the seller and find out when I'm going to get mine. Let's see. To be fair, I wouldn't trust Jason either, and I'd want protection. Alberto, that probably goes for many different situations with regards to our good friend Jason. What other feedback things that I get from people? There was, gosh, there was like 4 or 5 things. Nothing like major. I had somebody who told me they were never going to be a premium member again because they thought the show was they had a laundry list of things that they despised about this year's this particular show, and that they've only been premium because they wanted to exhibit at Comic Art Live, and they just felt like I was doing everything wrong, having a show in October or in November with up against other shows like Motor City and blah blah blah, and so that's not somebody I'm going to be replying to at the end of the day, because whatever, people have their opinions, and it is what it is. Of course, this person was premium in 2019 before we even had Comic Art Live, but I'm not gonna bring that up with them either. 2 nights, 2 attacks. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? Something, you can't please everybody at the end of the day. As we know, the sales on the show weren't as great as they were before, but and let's say like the last 4 or 5, but again, it's where things are at. Most of the sales happened at the lower end of the spectrum. There were far more 500 and under sales than there were sales that were 5,000 and over, right? I don't even know if we hit 30. I'm not looking at the data right now, but I don't think we even had 30 sales over 5,000, which is pretty crazy at the end of the day. But and then I'm probably totally wrong about that number. Now it's going to make me go over and take a look, because I want to see. But at the end of what are you going to do? You can't please every single person out there. I had an email from somebody who said it wasn't a great show for them as compared to years past, and I looked, and they were the second highest seller in the collector's thing, and I was like, well, you had a good show, congrats. At the end, they weren't complaining, they were just kind of pointing out that the market is slower and all that, and I agreed. It is where things are at. Where the heck is this thing? Oh, here it is, a sales report. 29 sales, $5,000 and up. Those 29 sales made up about $250,000 in sales, of course, but 372 sales were in the 500 and under category. So that's a pretty big disparity. More than 50% of the sales were $500 and under, and I think that's pretty atypical at the end of the day. But seeing 59 sales, because there were only 30 sales in the 2,500 to 5,000 range, so basically 59 sales, $2,500 and up. And what are you going to do? It is what it is. No bong art. That probably slowed things down a little bit for us, right, Chris? No Wendy Pini artwork for sale at the show. I don't remember if there was anything by them. Was there? I didn't. That was one of the keywords I did not check throughout the weekend. Troy mentioned really liking the Howard Chaykin panel. That's one of the panels that I haven't been able to go back and watch, but I do want to. I know he was talking about Comic Book U that he was doing with Mark Waid. By and large, I thought all the panels went really well. Brian Stelfreeze did get back to me. I think we'll probably have Brian on, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, to talk about potentially, maybe him coming to OAX and some other stuff. I had a lot of good feedback too. Oh, absolutely. But it's hard to dwell on the good feedback. But there was definitely many people that mentioned having good sales. I thought we saw lots of positive comments in the recap after the show. I remember Mickey said had like 5 to 7 sales. A lot of people did, and there's always going to be people that end up not selling anything. I didn't sell anything. I only had 1 piece in there really, but what are you going to do? So Marcus didn't look either. I can always look back, but let's see. Antoine said, when evaluating Marketflex, do you also account for the prestige of the art on offer? It's kind of hard to factor stuff like that, at the end of the day, I think. But, if anybody, it's funny, if anybody was watching the signature auction today, I assume some of you were. If you were able to watch, live and from wherever you work, I did watch pretty much all of it today, and then went back and looked at the numbers. At first I thought it looked soft, and then when I looked through everything. Actually, the numbers were pretty strong. The X-Men page didn't do very well. I thought for sure it was going to hit 100, and I think it only went to 72, maybe 78 with the juice. I can't remember. But so if you look at all the other ones, like, I actually texted, Berkey, like, what's your opinion on the sales? And he said everything's still high. He actually didn't get anything today. It was the underbidder on a couple things. So that was his impression of where things were at. But he said, and I don't pay close enough attention to the signature auctions to know like what's big about tomorrow. But he said tomorrow's the day he's most looking forward to. He says there's a lot of art that he's interested in, but that'll be very telling with where things are at market wise. So I guess I'll have to watch and see what lots are closing on Friday, because I typically don't pay attention to anything after Thursday. Snork says he got the one thing he wanted from Cal. Yeah, I wonder what that is. Maybe we'll ask Chris when he's on later. Jason says it was at 78K, right where it should be. I still thought it should have hit 100, Jason. It's a great piece of art from my favorite story, and that should add something to it at the end of the day. What else we got? Let's see. NSN said, made my first purchase during Cal, so a success in my book. That's good, NSN. Make sure your seller leaves you feedback when the transaction's over, so that you can get feedback yourself. That's what we want. Feedback. All right. Chris says it's the domain commission. Well, I didn't know. You might have gotten something else. But yeah, I figured we'd talk about that. I think there's a story in there. It sounded like Chris was like racing home and just made it in the door and got his commission on time. And I can tell you, Simone did sell the double A3 commission as well. So they all went. So if you go to the OAX website, you'll see he's sold out too. We actually got I think Wayshack is sold out as well. He even took on an extra piece and still sold out. So he did really well. I think we've got a couple other people who are pretty close to getting sold out too. So don't forget to keep your eye on the OAX website. And, if you're in the market for commissions that are coming in or available, you should go over there. I've got a mailing that needs to go out tomorrow that covers a few other commission ops. And I know that I think I've got like 2 or 3 to announce in the next 2 weeks. I'm talking with Adam Kubert tomorrow. We have a meeting in the afternoon, so I'll figure out exactly what we're doing and when. Because there will be something for sure with Adam, and that whatever we do there, I'm sure we'll have it announced by December 1st. So yeah, Nick, 85 watching and only 39 likes. What's going up with there? And don't sleep on those Mannix commissions. That is very, very, very true. Mannix had those. I don't think he had any of the wall power pieces taken, or what? No, I'm sorry, Felix Power. See, or not? Yeah. See, I've got the wall power shirt on. Felix Power is the one. But Alberto says he got a Sally commission from Jiggy to pick up at OAX. Awesome. Yeah, that's one of the good things about buying stuff from Jiggy is he can bring them to OAX for you. So if you're in the market for anything from his team that is up on the website, you can go to nextcomicart.com and buy something direct from him. Obviously, you can probably do that with a lot of the dealers that are coming out, right? We know Mark Hayes is going to be there, and Tatiana's going to be there, and I'm pretty sure Jason Schachter is going to be showing up. So keep that in mind when you're making purchases and saving on some shipments. So what's David say? My art budget for the year was blown pre-Cal. I wasn't able to bid on things that I like. Well, yeah, I get it, David. That's I probably wouldn't have bought anything if I didn't see the piece that I was really interested in. But yeah, all in all, I'm pretty happy with where CAF Live did end up. I mean, I think the thing is, the interest is still there, and we as collectors certainly have a lot of artwork that is still great to look at and potentially buy. And if a few people are hesitant right now, I don't blame anybody. I think that's just where we're at. But these things don't last forever, and we'll definitely get back to some level of stability. I mean, I was talking with a collector earlier today, and just about pricing, and the comment was, are the prices back to pre-pandemic levels? Absolutely not. You know, so it's not like we didn't recede. Comics, on the other hand, definitely have, you know, taken that kind of hit where they had such a bubble through you know, the early part of the pandemic. They just receded crazily. So, I mean, we're not seeing anything like that whatsoever here for us. So, you know, we'll be ready for the May show. There's definitely things that Kazra and I have already talked about. Maureen and I have talked about that we need to address. And I think that there's probably some things that you're going to see get rolled out on the comic art fans related to the May show that will pique people's interest, and you know, and then we'll see where things go from there. I do sound like the president. It is like a State of the Union address, right? I think I started one of the CAF recaps once like that. The state of our comic art union is strong. That might have been a couple shows back, but it does feel like that when you get to that point. But you know, it is what it is. You know, of course, things are definitely strong in their own ways. So, but feel free to keep hitting me with any feedback from Comic Art Live. But the one thing I just want to always stress, or continue to stress, because and I will send out an email to all exhibitors probably one more time next week, is just leave feedback for your buyers. Just you know, it's real simple. It's still in there. I can't leave feedback because I didn't have any buyers, but it's up in the menu, of course. Well, actually, Maureen did a test order. Okay, fine. I'll show the screen just as a reminder, because I did have somebody email me earlier today asking, how do you leave feedback? And, you know, the links were in the email and I stated where it was, but here, let's add this to the stage. So underneath the Comic Art Live menu, we've taken out all the links that aren't necessary anymore. The My Saved Artworks link now, just for your own edification, still works. You can see the artwork that you saved. The link to the seller now links to their CAF gallery. So if there was something that you were interested in that didn't sell, because you can see here, like that piece sold for Kamolo, fantastic. I knew it. See, that David Wright was not going to last at $850. Even if it's an average Carol Day piece, there's, you know, no way that didn't sell. I should have bought it for $850. You know, every one of you in the chat should have picked it up for that price. But sure, if I see Joseph Melchior still has this Wolverine is unsold at the end of the show, you can click on his Brit Comics art, and for this one, it'll take you over to his website because he's a dealer. But like Kamolo's here would actually take you over to his CAF gallery because he's not listed as a dealer. Same with Tariq. If I wanted to hop over there and you know, Wally, whatnot, you could hop over there as well. So that's in there. But as far as leaving feedback, that's the second link in the menu. So this was a test order Maureen must have done while you know, while working in my. It is a nice dawn. James has picked up a few nice dawns of late. I haven't picked any to put in the CAF update, but they're all wonderfully attractive Linsner pieces, nude as they are. But at any rate, leaving seller feedback because you know, again, the piece I bought, apparently my seller hasn't left me feedback yet. So at some point I'll get that, but I can leave feedback as a seller for the buyer, and all I need to do here, and you can see seller's name, or oh, wait a minute, no, I'm the buyer. Oh, that's right, Maureen did it. All right, that's what she did. She had me buy a piece of art from her, and we were testing out some modifications to the system for the artists who were using the checkout. We wanted to see and make sure that a buyer could leave feedback for their seller when they purchase something through the transaction system. So even if the seller didn't leave the buyer feedback, the buyer was able to leave the seller feedback. That doesn't work when you're outside of the transaction system, but that was something that we wanted to make sure worked, you know, going forward with people who are using the integrated checkout. But either way, it still looks the same. At the end of the day, you know, giving them a positive or neutral rating, comments, hit submit feedback, and you know, you can check your feedback link. It's in the green box by your profile. It doesn't list the price of the item, but it does list when it was bought, who the seller was, what the title was, and saves a thumbnail from it. We also store your emails sent during the event. I remember somebody was, you know, curious about whether or not you know, they could go back and look at whom they contacted. There you go. You can see I contacted Maureen about her Charizard. So you got that one, and then also managing your booth is still in there. So there you have it. Leave feedback, please, for your buyers. It's important. And I've missed out on the chat there. I thought the 20 minute was, I'm not sure what, I missed it all, but it's okay. I can't pay attention to everything in the chat. I can't leave buyer feedback because he wasn't logged in, it says. Yep, that will happen. Well, remember, the thing with Comic Art Live too is we don't require somebody to be logged in to email you. Of course, when you're on just regular CAF communication with somebody with a gallery, require it. But because Comic Art Live is is an open virtual con, and we do expect people to go there that don't have CAF accounts, we don't require a person to be logged in to contact you to buy a piece of art. So that is a drawback to that happening, Josh. So I apologize for that, but it is kind of what it is. We feel like we need to leave it open just so that it does encourage people to come to the site and not create an account. If somebody comes to the site and wants to buy something from someone with an integrated checkout, we do actually require them to create their account and be logged in before they move through the process. So we did create that, but without, when you're outside of the integrated checkout, they don't have to log in. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. The thing is that what we should be doing is trying to encourage them to, during that process in some way, but that's something we can definitely get better at. What is everybody saying? Amazing, Alberto. What am I missing out on? No seller has left me feedback yet. Well, you can pester them, right? You know who they are probably. So get in there and remind them. But I will send out another email probably to the sellers on Monday, reminding them to finish up those transactions and leave feedback for everybody. Matt Moore, yeah. So I answered that question for Matt Moore too. Yeah, if they're not logged in, that is what happens. Can we autofill purchase requests? Would love to save time. Yeah, I should look into that. I mean, we have. I'll just make a note of that. We do have for some people, there is within your profile the ability to have your contact information stored. We don't normally ask for that. We did that as part of the old CAF marketplace that we don't have active right now. But, as part of your profile, you can see there is, back in and again, it's not used anywhere, but we do have the section where we allowed people to enter their contact information as far as their mailing address. So that is something that we could kind of get people to populate as part of, just every day, and then use that data to fill out your forms when you're logged in and making a purchase request through Comic Art Live. It's another good suggestion, I think. I mean, for me, I just click on the first name field usually, and it, and you let Chrome auto-populate everything. So I never really think about it, but I get where you're saying. It would be cool if it filled in automatically. So my buyer needs to be logged, Antoine, before I can leave feedback on the sale. Well, they needed to be logged in to contact, they need to be logged in when they contacted you about the piece. Yes, that is, so you know what, since I think we're getting to a point here where we're going to say being logged in, it should be a requirement to buy a piece from you no matter what. So let's make a note along with the autofill that just like the integrated checkout, if somebody wants to make a purchase request, we're going to require them to create an account or log in first, because that could be, they could actually have an account and just not be logged in. That would be the other thing. Purchase request, log in, or create account. All right. I mean, at the end of the day, and Kazra and I are going to be preaching this a lot going forward, the feedback system is incredibly important to us and in the site. And I think it's super needed, and I think it's going to be very relevant and important for things going forward. So requiring people to log in with any kind of purchase request, even if they're just making you an offer, it should happen. So we're gonna do it. Yep, I like it. Samuel wants to know how long do those? They actually will stay up up until the seller deletes it, or we delete them. We tend to not clear everything out until about a month before the next show. So as long as the seller doesn't delete the item out of their booth for whatever reason, it will be in there for that length of time. So you can have access to it for as long as you choose. I leave that link in there for a long time too. So let's see. Okay, I like that, Alberto. Alberto was thinking about the Liefeld there, but has decided not to go for it for other reasons, which are valid. I like that. So as I mentioned earlier, so we'll get off Comic Art Live. If anybody has any other pertinent, interesting things, just email me, just thoughts, considerations, all that kind of thing, and it will go into our things to consider list. And Steve Lipsky said, I left feedback on all my sales at the same time, and I have no idea if any of my buyers were also logged in at the time. Well, if you're only able to leave feedback for those that were. So if you've left the feedback for them, Steve, then they were definitely logged in when they made any purchases. So otherwise, it just wouldn't even, well, it would show up, but you wouldn't have like when I was showing that field before, there would be no contact or description field to type anything in. So, all right. So there we have it. So now we can move on from Comic Art Live. Now, I did mention Hembeck. The show is on Saturday, right? So I'll tease one more piece today, and not the two. I'm not going to tease the cover. I'm not going to tease another sketch card. I'm not going to tease the published interior page that I think is 30 years old, if I'm not mistaken. But I will tease one of the 9x12s this time. And and I thought about do I do the Marvel one or the DC one? I'm going to do the Marvel one because Marvel is near and dear to my heart. And let's see here. How many characters are on this thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, maybe even 18 with Mr. Fantastic on it. So there's a lot of characters on this. And here you go. How's that look? So we've got this, and we have a group of DC characters as well. So this will be at auction on Saturday. Obviously, probably after the first hour of the show. The show starts at 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, everyone. So you can bet that around 3:30 we'll get to the art sale. We only have 6 pieces by Fred, but they are all impeccable, incredible. And that is just one of them. There you go. Dang, exactly. Home run Hembeck. I knew it. I'd see. These are, they are great. And I had Fred called me earlier today. He definitely has an issue with his webcam, but we should have it all squared away by Saturday. But we talked for a little bit today about what we were going to do, how we're going to do it, and I could tell he's nervous, but very, very excited about it at the same time. So I think if the show goes really well, Fred will definitely enjoy coming back. He said he's done a few podcasts in the past, like more, Bill want to show I won't show the DC characters because I hate them. No, I just figured, I know all of these characters. If I showed you the DC one, I wouldn't know them all. At any rate, definitely, I could see from, I got the sense that he's very excited, and he'll definitely come back if things go as well as they probably should for him. So anyway, the world of Swirl. You got that right, Rick. So what do I got here? Well, you know what? I'll do the schedule right now, just because I don't really have anything to add. In fact, I didn't even update the slide. I don't think I have anything anything new that I added to the calendar except one thing, but I'm going to just check my calendar off to the side here. Did I? No, I've got, because I've got the Hakes recap next Tuesday. I need to schedule a Heritage recap because I don't know if I can wedge that in on a CAF update or not. So that might be something I try for Monday the 27th, but I have to reach out to Dino and a few others from that crew to see if a Monday would work for them. We do have the Mike Berkey Make Offer show. That will be next Wednesday. there will be no dueling dealers next Wednesday, everybody. For the first time in a long time, there will be none, and it'll be Mike's Make Offer show. And but I do have an announcement to make. We are going to have another amateur dueling dealer match, and it's in fact it's a rematch, many years in the making, in fact. But it will be hosted on December 6th, and I actually made a little preview trailer for you just to show that off. So here, enjoy this.
That's when I thought I was out. They pulled me back in.
Oh yeah. the rematch we've all been waiting for. I mean, I think the last time they were together was April 2021. So yes, it's gonna be thrilling. Dino's been wanting, or Dino's been wanting to come back. Jordan's always wanted to do a Godfather themed show. We've just never quite worked that out when doing many of the amateur matches that he's been involved with since that time. But yes, ready to rumble again, says Dino. Absolutely, as is Jordan. It's going to be a lot of fun. They've already started talking about their memes, and again, that's going to be on a Wednesday. No regular dueling dealers there. We're there's definitely some changes that we're going to be implementing in the weekly schedule for Wednesday nights, and these are just part of them. The Make Offer show with Mike next Wednesday. Amateur dueling dealers going on the 6th. So yeah, expect some things to be modified and changing, and you won't see Anthony and Mike as often as you have in the last almost 3 years. So there you have it. What else have I got? So schedule wise, yeah, if I pull up the schedule, there's just not going to be anything of note that I haven't shown already. The Mike Make Offer show, Comic Connect preview. I do have 2 shows, art sale shows on Saturdays after Fred's show. I've got the Andy Kuhn show on the 2nd of December, and then Howard on the 9th. And then we won't have any Saturday sale shows all the way through OAX, so that everybody can, it's the holidays, and we want you to have some money for OAX too. So there's no reason for us to stream as many sales shows as we would normally. So expect a hiatus from those Saturday afternoons, which will be good for me. I'll get my weekends back. I've been doing a lot of those shows. But yes, yay, more Chaikin. Chaikin is playing the hits. I got an email from him yesterday. He was traveling. He was on the road for a while, but he emailed me yesterday and said, "I'm gonna bring back all the hits." So I would assume we're gonna get to see many of his popular pieces. I have to believe there's going to be some flag pieces in it, which would be cool. Albert versus Bill smiling contest. Actually, Albert, he's been waiting. He says that, but definitely we will have something probably scheduled with Albert and Mike. Late winter. It'll be after OAX. So I figured they're on my list to contact, because I know Albert wants to do it, Mike wants to do it. And if I give them a date 3 months in advance, that'll let them prepare for it. But of course, I mean, our most watched live broadcast was the Albert versus Mike show, where we hit like 450 people watching that duel live. So that was pretty crazy. And yeah, I'd like to do that again now that we have, triple the number of subscribers. I think we can really, I'd like to think we would hit over 500 live viewers watching that show. and that would be exciting, at least for me. I don't know if Mike or Albert would break us into a sweat, but Mikhail says asked Shaken to do an ex-wives series. Yeah, he probably would fondly do something like that. Let's see. What does Alberto say? Will you offer some art shipping service at OEX? I'm not sure what to carry my pieces. That's an interesting thought. I mean, it's certainly not something that we've talked about, but I get it. You probably don't want to like leave your art behind in the hotel room. I don't know. I'm sure Kazer's shaking his head. No, right now. But that is something that you always have the FedEx booth right outside of San Diego, so we don't have that here. But it is something to think about. Again, if we want to be a full featured art show, we should have some kind of at least direction there that helps everybody. So yeah, let me think about it. And Kazra and I will. It would be a liability. I'd almost want to put it in the mail like immediately. I don't know how we. Yeah, it's tricky. Definitely tricky. Let's see. Ram says he's too chicken to take a portfolio, and wife might have to travel back with one. It is true. It is true. Well, when we go to shows, I always carry a portfolio. Number one Marvel fan says there's FedEx shippers right there by the hotel. T-Mario offering shipping with a commission surcharge. Yeah, you never know. Just give the art to Mikhail Alberto. He'll take care of it for you. Let's see. Yeah, Lipsky's right. We are very, very close, 5 minutes away from the Orange County Convention Center. So there are options, everybody. And that's probably the best thing. We would have to find you, directions to the nearest facility to take care of that for you. But makes the most sense. Will we have a comic size program for OAX? We've talked about printing something, but I wouldn't say comic size, but I wouldn't count it out. Let's see. Kazra says there's a FedEx office 0.4 miles north of the Doubletree. So that's good. I mean, they probably aren't open on Sunday, but yeah, give it all to Anthony. Yeah. Well, we will definitely have all that information for everybody. I totally get it. Especially if you're staying longer, and I know many of you are. There's a lot of people who we've seen are staying, Monday through Wednesday after the show. Kevin says the Jim Lee Artist backpack holds a toy 11x17. Good. That's good. I've seen the Jim Lee Artist backpack. Could get mugged. Yeah, Alberto. Matt DiTullio should open a table. Yeah, if he were adventurous. So I agree, Antoine. I don't think we can do it from just like everybody said, the liability standpoint. But if we can direct you to the places to take care of it, hell, I can supply everybody with the masonite and the tape. I don't mind doing that. We can. I could sell it to you at cost, but we could have like a little packing station in there for you, so it makes it easy. You can pack it up, take it over to FedEx, and drop it off. Chuck Arnold says it's Florida, Alberto. You can stand your ground. Exactly. Oh, well, there you go. The FedEx office is actually at a Walgreens pharmacy, and it's open 24/7. Well, then that makes it easy. So honestly, then, what would the idea of potentially having the packing material for you might not be a terrible idea. James says he'll bring tubes. Okay. But anyway, still, again, something to think about. And I'm sure Kaz was taking notes. I won't, but I'll let him do that. Oh, okay. Well, I actually got, what did I get here? Now, Maureen bought a piece of artwork from Andy and Veronica Fish, and it arrived today. So I got a piece of art. And well, okay, Maureen got a piece of art, and she's not here. She's actually up in Ohio. Gwen is doing, if everybody remembers, like, my son works for, he works at the zoo during Christmas. They do a like a light festival thing that you drive through, and he dresses as the Grinch at the end of that. He works for a company that does that kind of thing, and Gwen works with him there in during Christmas. So Maureen drove up to Ohio the day after Comic Art Live with Gwen, and so she's not here to open the package. So I'm going to do it for her. And I don't remember what I do kind of. I think I remember what she bought from Andy. Let's see. See, Maureen bought it, but Andy and Veronica said, Bill, thanks for all you do for the calf community. So even though Maureen got the art, I got the note. Thank you, Andy and Veronica, of course, for your long-standing support of Comic Art Live and of the site and of me. I mean, I've got the piece on the wall right there. It's all fuzzy, but it's it's Thor and Wolverine having a beer together that Andy drew for me. So let's see here. I think there's only one piece in here, but there's a lot of he tapes this stuff down. It's not going to wiggle around in the box, that's for sure. And it was a Batman and Robin by Andy. There we go. See, Maureen's a DC person. She likes Superman. She likes Batman. And she likes Captain America, Alberto. That's the other character she buys stuff from. So there we go. We've got a Batman and Robin by Andy. Awesome. And that was purchased through the integrated checkout. Right at the end of the show, too. She's like, should I do it? Should I do it? There was like 10 minutes left in the show. I'm like, yeah, come on. Support those that support us. Now, I did get, and I don't follow. I always thought everybody said Comic Link ships slowly, but this is that piece that I got. What was it, last Thursday during the CAF update where I said I want a piece? Well, this thing arrived. This thing got here on like Tuesday, so I don't know how fast. Maybe it's just because it was me. I doubt it, but I was surprised. Like literally, I think on Sunday I got an email that this is coming via FedEx. And I'm like, shoot, that can't be the Comic Link order that I just did. But this thing, look how huge this thing is. This is for one piece of art. They and it did get dinged. You can see, not run over though. So that's I'm assuming the art is safe inside this thing. Let's see. Oh my gosh, there's even popcorn in here too. It's gonna be a mess. So this is my first purchase from Comic Link in all the years that I've worked with them promoting their auctions, never having picked up anything myself. Is this how they always ship comic art? Yeah, this is going to be messy. All right. Oh gosh. Yep, this is my Warp page by Willingham. Let's see here. Thank you, Mikhail. These things are the best. It's heavily taped down. Let's see, it's going to get a lot of glare probably, but let's see. So this is my Bill Willingham. I forget, was it Reinhold? I can't remember who was the inker on this. But yeah, I love that last panel. So this is an end page. But yeah, I like that. And I'd never read Warp. I hate to tell you. There's another thing to add to my reading list. But yeah, this is awesome. Classic period for Bill. Yeah, this is awesome. All this is great. Sweet. Well, so I didn't get an Elementals page, but got the next best thing. Something by Mr. Willingham. Thank you, Mikhail. It does look like Phoenix on the top. It has a little X-Men feel to it, doesn't it? Yep. All right. So got that out of the way. Got that out of the way. So we're gonna get this show over in a hurry because I'm actually ready to move over to Heritage. I think, yeah, or get close to it. What else have I got? But yeah, I mean, obviously everybody guessed it the other day. I did get the 8th page from Mr. Scott Eater. So for those of you who were inquiring about it, getting and as everybody knows, it was not a year, maybe it was like a year and a half ago when I actually picked up 8-Ball for the first time. I mean, yeah, I knew its significance without ever reading it. I never read it. And then I picked it up and, now I felt like a dummy. It's like me reading Watchmen for the first time about a dozen years after it came out, because that's just how I am. I mean, if somebody tells me something's great, I tend to avoid it. But, that's not how it should be. But at any rate, getting the Daniel Clowes 8-Ball page with Daniel Pousset on it is an incredible thrill, because after reading 8-Ball, I thought if I were ever to buy a page from that, it would have to have Pousset on it, right? So when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh. So I actually emailed Scott Eder at the beginning of the show, and I told him, if nobody buys it by the end of the show, or by the end of the day, that's what I told him. If nobody buys it by the end of the day, I want it. And I'm like, I'll pay full price. I won't haggle. Just, that's it. And so I think like an hour into the show, he was like, I won't tell you, but what we emailed about, but he said, he goes, you should take this, Bill. He goes, it's a really good price. If I didn't have two Pousset pages myself, I'd be keeping this one. And so he convinced me. He basically, so he said, do it. And I'm like, all right, fine. If anybody had it in their keyword list and they were a premium member, they would have already gotten to see it. So I figured I'd given everybody ample chance to go in and scoop it up before before me. And Scott always has good stuff. And Scott's a good guy. He had emailed me ahead of the show with some thoughts about the show, and he definitely cares about the hobby. He cares about fairness, and he definitely has been a good friend of mine for a very long time. And I never bought anything from him before. I think that's even, I can say it. I broke the ice with Scott on that one too. That would have been my first purchase from him ever, which is weird. But hey, I see Mr. Snork in the green room. I don't know if he's ready. He'll give me. Oh, is that? That wasn't a thumbs up. That was that's a thumbs up. All right. So Mr. Snork is ready and raring to go. Hey, Chris.
Hey, I don't know about raring to go, but I am ready.
So I had told Chris what I got, but yeah, so I can't wait to actually have it. It's going to be awesome. And the thing is, interestingly, I didn't even look at it at the time, or I didn't even read the description, but it was owned by an artist who had it on their wall for 23 years. So it's actually a little yellowed, and the scan showed that, but I didn't even think about it. But so once I get it in, I might actually, call up Alexandra and see, is this something that you could clean up a little bit, or at least take care of in case, whatever. I'm sure she'll be happy to take a look at it. But I know there was Zipatone on it. I know she hates Zipatone from the few pieces she's gotten from. It's like, I don't know I don't like this stuff. But at any rate, yeah, I was very happy to get that. And that's awesome. You got something. So you were in a hurry, weren't you? You were out for part of.
So my brother was in town. We went out to dinner with my folks, and I flubbed the time. So when I realized what time it was, luckily we were only like 5 miles away. So I sped home and ran in the door and flipped my laptop open, turned it on, and it did the little like updating thing. And I was like, oh, not now. And that's when I texted you. I was like, slow down, Bill.
I saw that.
I could see when I turned my computer on, you guys were doing the commission, the con commission level ones. And I was like, it's got to be next. It's got to be. So I'm like swearing at my computer. My brother's laughing his ass off. He's like, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get in there. And I had YouTube on my phone on the TV. So he's watching me fail while I'm fighting with my laptop, but all's well that ends well.
Exactly. Yeah. I got that text right before I was going to show it. And I'm like, I gotta keep moving. I think because the other one's all sold, right? Yeah,
Yep.
Oranga got the one, and I was like, well, how do I song and dance for like 30 seconds? Because I could tell I just had this image of you like racing from your car, shouting into your talk to text. Hold on, Bill, slow down.
You're not far off. You're not far off. And number one Marvel fan, I want Chuck Arnold as a guest soon too. So you're not alone.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, that is true. We've just been, I don't know. The last few months have been so busy. I haven't even thought about trying to make any inquiries about people guesting for the picks. But sure, we should definitely see who's available. Everybody knows how to reach out to me. I'm always happy to have somebody volunteer. But Chuck Arnold has done it a few times. He's good at it. So is Matt Kennedy. Has Matt done it before? Wait a minute. Now maybe Matt.
I don't know, but he should.
Matt should definitely do
Matt
it.
did do it.
I feel like he did once, but it's been a long time.
It's been a long time, yeah.
All right, I'll make a note of that. I've been meaning to email Matt, so maybe I'll ask Matt and we'll ask Arn.
Antoine, I'm from Wisconsin, and I apologize for nothing.
Chuck Arnold says he picks all poussées and peonies. Well, I bet you do, and Quiteleys. So as we know, but yeah, no, thank you everybody for saying nice things. That's like Kevin Sharp said, you saved me from myself by buying that. Yeah, and it's like I didn't even look at the market. I just figured it was $6,500. I don't know, good is it bad? Scott was like, he said something like Marcia told him to put it 7,500, and he wanted to put it at a price he thought would move. So in his mind, he was pricing it, to move. And I was like, well, I don't know, but since I've never seen one before, and there's no market data really. There's not a lot of market data on 8-ball pages. I was just like, it sounds good to me. I'm not a haggler. I'll take it. So,
Fish should definitely do it. But what would he pick? How many Cosmic Marvel pieces get posted in a week? I can tell you,
it would be interesting to see what he would pick. I mean, maybe would he? Well, I don't know. That's a good question. Fish would be an interesting.
Only one way to find out.
There is only one way.
Approach.
I'll ask him. We'll see if he's free too. Maybe you might actually get a little bit of time off during the holidays, man.
Hey, I'll take it.
So, all right. Well, I'm glad I reminded Samuel to contact Scott about something. I got to get Scott back on here too for an interview. We had such a good time, during that one conversation. I wanted him to come back and we would tackle 3 or 4 independent indie artists and just do Scott's view on those particular artists. I think we could do once every 6 months, have him come back on and talk about a set of creators, and it would be fun. Well, Fish is getting a lot of love in the chat here. Only. All right. So here, we're just going to roll into my heritage picks here. I don't know how I managed to have so many windows open here, but I do. Let's swing it over to there. So yeah, it's a mess right now, Chris.
That's all right. ML has done picks. ML could certainly do picks again in the future.
We should bring Mikhail on. I'd love that.
Larry has done picks. Larry could do it again. Maybe James should do it.
Yeah, but he'd pick all X-Men.
Yeah.
And they'd be all Silvestri, 5 Silvestris, and I don't know.
That wouldn't upset me at all. Or Jason.
No. James says nope.
Jason's the only guy that ever gets upset about the picks. So, maybe Jason should do it.
That's not a bad idea, too. I'll write him down. Yeah. It would still be a lot of X-Men. But, all right. Well, let's see here. And I picked these so early today. I don't even remember what I picked. So what do we got here? We have a Bissett and Toddleben Swamp Thing page here from issue 27. I just, again, Toddleben and Bissett together are just slick. I mean, I love, all the motion lines and stuff here going on. I think that's totally cool. And I love this, the first panel here, with, the eyes and what you see. And again, just the line work is just so beautiful.
It's so flowing and organic, which, is obviously appropriate.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look at this. This is just fantastic. And again, the panel layout is great too.
Yeah.
Typically you would see like these things just be like 2 panels. I love the fact that they broke it with this other one here as part of that. I mean, it's very creative and fitting for the title. And yeah,
Legendary run on the book, no question.
Yeah, and look, I mean, it's at $2,400 already, and on day one, so that's surprising. When I looked at these literally, so early this morning, I don't even think it was at $100 when I looked at it. Then I picked this Teen Titans page from New Teen Titans 2, George Perez. So not a spectacular page, but I love this guy. And again, it's Perez, Wolfman, and you get.
I feel like that kind of page, though, people could afford that. Like,
right.
If you really absolutely have to have a George Perez Teen Titans page in your collection, like, you could probably get this one.
Yeah, very true. Well, that's what I thought too. It's like, well, and it's issue 2, and I like it. So now I'm thinking I should have held this one back and bid on it myself. That Sky gets me though. It's just as a when you look at it in its entirety. I mean, this is a really, really nice page.
Yeah,
and you get the Titan Tower.
The strike through across it too. Yeah, the tower.
Yep. I mean, yeah, this is nice. I am going to throw a bid on here just for the fun of it.
Well, all right.
Then this one, it's Don Heck, Bill Everett, early Amazing Adventures 8 Black Widow page. I just like the this period, this character, and I thought this was a nice page. And it's at $310 so far, but yeah, good. I mean, I'd love to own it. I wouldn't mind having. I've never owned anything by Heck or Everett for that matter.
One of the first comics I bought with my own money.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, cool. Then you should put a bid on it. Let's see. Heck is so underrated. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, definitely for this period, right? I mean, his anatomy has always, I don't know, it's not, to me, his anatomy is not the greatest, but he's a good storyteller. I mean, I really like this page.
I think the anatomy thing's funny because I feel like there's times when it's dead on. I feel like he almost picks and chooses, and he's one of those artists where the more the character is moving, the anatomy can kind of go by the wayside. And I think that's a stylistic choice versus a skill.
It might be. I mean, because you look at this. I mean, the way her shoulders are. I mean, it just everything is so out of proportion there. It just doesn't feel right, but it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we wouldn't fault Infantino or Gene Colan or Kirby for taking liberties with anatomy. So we shouldn't really take, just because Heck is a little bit more, I don't know, a realistic style. I guess we shouldn't fault him for his approach to anatomy. I mean, you figure what year is this? It's in the 70s. I'm not sure.
That used to be kind of like my internal criticism of Gene Colan. And once I realized better what he was driving at, that went by the wayside. Yeah.
No, I like this one a lot. I think I'm going to bid on this one too.
All right.
I'm going to make somebody pay some money on that one. Then Basil Wolverton piece. I don't know if this was published or not, but I just thought it's a Wolverton. It looks like it was done on like on some bond paper at the shop. What does it say?
A napkin.
Yeah. What does it say? I like Mad in 25 words or less because nothing inelegant is ever printed in it. Okay. But it's not signed, is it? But that definitely is Wolverton. So that's kind of cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, it's probably an affordable piece that you can get that Wolverton did. Then I picked a Transmetropolitan page by Mr. Derek Robertson. And again, not a title that I read a lot of, just a little bit, but I always like Robertson's work on here. I love this here, him flicking the butt there at the end. So I don't know, just a nice overall page.
I keep meaning to add a page from that book to my collection too. I was a fervent reader of that book, liked it a lot when it was coming out, like Warren Ellis at the time a lot, and Derek Robertson was just, I don't know, for me, I was like Derek Robertson, and then like the more issues came out, the more I realized like, wow, I don't want to see anyone else on this book.
Mm-hmm. I think there's actually 2 pages. Is there? Yeah, there was this page too. So 2 reasons for you to maybe Take a look yourself. I don't know what the heck is going on there. What the? See? Like
Yeah,
maybe I should.
We can
should
infer.
Yes, we can infer. Oh, then nice there at the end of the alley. Not bad. Interesting. Oh yeah, look at the graffiti. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
That's like a
It's got the
Wally Wood on
three-eyed
there.
smiley too.
Yeah. So interesting page there. So you get two Derek Robertson transmit pages going on in this one. Then a Don Newton Detective Comics page. I thought this was really slick. I like the inking on it. I mean, look at I love every single panel on this thing as a whole.
That's a beauty.
When you get back from that, I mean, look at this. He takes this one panel where he breaks Batman and whomever he's got here, over to the other panel. But this is it's a drop that the spotted blacks on this thing are perfect.
Yep.
Compositionally, this thing is beautiful. I mean, again,
There's
it's
a
like
lot of power in those poses too.
Mhm. Wow. See this is a good one. This is going to make somebody happy. I've never owned anything by Newton, but this would make me buy a DC page right here. Liam Sharp, that's right. Liam Sharp and Bill Reinhold Venom piece, which I thought was, I love anything Reinhold inks, albeit, at the end of the day, he's just so dang talented. I think he makes anybody he works with look really good. But I just thought this was a fun page. It's busy. Every inch of this page has something inked on it, right? But it's a good pickup for somebody, especially for a Venom fan. And it's only at $12. You could thrill bid on this thing for a couple days and feel like you're the owner of it.
This is a great example of that period.
Right. I don't know when did this is from 94. When did Liam first start working in comics? Do you know?
Oh, not long before that, I would say. Okay. I guess the first I remember him like when he was a real hardcore Bisley clone. So that was like late 80s, early 90s.
Okay. Well, I like this one. Then I picked another Batman page, Seth Fisher. Always liked his style. Mm-hmm. And this is from Legends of the Dark Knight 192. And just
that book.
Yeah, just so. I mean, look at that. Yeah. I just love his art. So,
if you love like detail, contour, line drawing, I mean, it's him and Darrow basically.
Right. Yeah, this is fantastic. So again, you want an example? I mean, there's no Batman in it, but still, definitely. I remember Felix helped the family sell his artwork after he passed, and I don't think there's anything left on Felix's site. So if you want to get an example, there is an opportunity. Then we had a Steve Rude Nexus page. This is from
with
Nexus
Judah and Badger on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw. Oh shoot! And then I had a feeling this one was going to go high, but there you go. It's at $12.50 right now. That's a good page.
Felix decided he wanted another one.
Look at this thing though. Yeah, I like this. This is great. This is a really, really nice page.
Yeah.
From the run. And what did I pick last? Oh yeah. Butch Geist, Birds of Prey, DPS. So
Ooh.
Yeah, I thought this, again, I love anything that Geist does, but this thing is just, I mean, look at it. I mean, the design alone is great. The figure work is great. I love the silhouetted character in the last panel, even though
those
this is
muzzle blasts are insane. Those are great.
Yep, exactly. I mean, this is, I like this even more than when I looked at it earlier today. But yeah, even right through here. I mean, look, yeah, this is, whew. It is a crotch shot, Marcus. It is, and maybe that's what drew my attention to the piece initially. But no, this is phenomenal. So
and like the legs like echoing the tilted panel on the rest of the DPS, and like
funny.
her foot breaking through. Man, that's a great composition.
Yeah, it is a beauty, and only $56 right now.
Geist is so good.
Agreed. I even thought, well, Geist won't be at year one, but I definitely will be putting an invite out for him for year two with OAX.
How old a guy is he? Do you know?
No,
I
no,
feel
not
like
at
he's
all.
one of those guys that's been around forever, but
I would like, he's probably somewhere near Bob's age, maybe a little younger, but I don't know. I'd have to,
Hmm.
but yeah, I think he's in Texas. I forget where, but I kept always like, he was somebody who I just kept thinking, I gotta invite him. I gotta invite him. But now we're so far along and we are filled now, at least as far as everything on paper, that I was like, all right, well, I'm kind of glad I got to the point where, but he would have been the one I would have asked, because he would have been probably a good person.
He's still
to have.
got it too, man. I mean, his recent stuff is just as good as it's ever been.
Mm-hmm. So he'll be a good get for year two. I'll as soon as the show's over, I figured I was going to ask him and try to get him to like put it on his calendar. So, Jeff says he's 62 or 63.
He's still kicking it then.
I know. Yeah, definitely. I mean, see, 62 says Chuck. Okay. Hey, I mean, I'm 55, so not far off. Wow. I think that means I'm getting old. Unfortunately,
the difference between you and Geis is the difference between me and you.
Yep. All right. Well, next up we have the XP preview from Nick Perucci. I think Nick's doing a pre Black Friday sale, since he's on a Friday night, of course, at 7:00. I did not watch it. I just resized it in my video editor, so I'm going to be learning about what he's offering tomorrow at 7:00 as well, just as you guys are. But yep, over on the EXP, subscribe to his channel. You know what to do. You can watch him on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, among other places, I'm sure. Will he have a perm? No, he won't, but he loves to remind everybody about that. He kind of looked like a mafioso in that image of him from his glory days.
He did?
He had a perm.
He still does?
Oh boy. Well, I can't wait to see, when yes, exactly. All right. Yeah, he does. He does. All right. He definitely looks like he could rough you up or tell somebody to rough you up.
Nick, we'll talk.
Exactly. Raising money for charity. All right. Well, we're going to learn all about it here when we play the preview right now. Where is it? There it is.
Everybody, you ready for a big original art week? Or do we not have a choice? Well, let's just say that this Friday, November 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, on the Original Art Experience, we are going to have some blockbuster marquee art that is going to be really well priced to move, and we're going to have some really affordable art. So, one of the things I'll mention is some of the art that I'm selling, some of the money will help a charity. An animal rescue, Save Whiskers Rescue. Many of you are aware. My fiance Pam runs a rescue. She needs help. I'm going to help her. So some of the money from my art sold is going to go to her. But considering this week on Thursday, this past Thursday, Comic Link ended. On Monday, Comic Connect started. On Wednesday, Hakes ends, Weiss auction ends. Then Thursday, Heritage ends, and Friday, as well as Sunday, and then Friday night, Comic Link starts? Oh my God, there is more art than ever. So this Friday, some really affordable art. We'll talk about everything. Let's get into it. All right, so Avengers Academy. There are some pages I'm going to have between $25 and $50. Will this be one of the pages? You never know. Will this Marvel Knights be one of the pages? You never know. Will this Earth 2 be one of the pages? You never know. Then we've got some Brett Booth Flash. This is fantastic. But maybe I'll make this one $100. Yikes. All right. Then we have this awesome Flash. Check it out. It rocks. Maybe I'll make this one $150. What do you think, Amy?
Sure.
She's tired. It's been a long day. Then we've got Guardians of the Galaxy and Infinity Quest by Jim Starlin. Infinity Relativity. Maybe I'll make this one under $300. You never know. All right. Oh, I was supposed to go across. I'm an idiot. Then we're going to have some Dale Eaglesham Hulk. Wait till you see what that's priced at. Wait till you see what the Dale Eaglesham Green Lantern is. Got a little bit more Magog because, you need Magog. And there's a monkey, so, got to have the monkey. Then someone was asking me for Lady Blackhawk. Here you go. Villains United, Lady Blackhawk in here, as well as Black Adam and so much more. This is my only other Fairest page. I sold the one that I had, and this is the other one. Maybe it'll sell. This is my only Rick Leonardi Superman page. Look how beautiful that is. Now, since we're raising money for an animal charity, check it out. Spectacular Spider-Man with the kangaroo and the spot from Across the Spider-Verse. Awesome. I think Amy might like that page. Then we're going to have a little bit of Herc. Maybe some of these will be under $100. You never know. Got a little bit of a flying lion here. Taurus. Yeah, why not? Then we have King Kong by Jay Lee. Then we're going to have the Spider-Man number 7 cover. We did have this once before, but I'm going to blockbuster this price. Same, hey, we're helping animals. You got to have spiders can help. And then the same with Spider-Man number 4 with the first Peter Palmer returning. Then we have this Dale Eaglesham double page spread. Check it out. And to really help, this is my personal copy of Iron Man 600 with Iron Man Fighting Submariner 9.6, Bob Layton. I would not have sold this, except I want to help charity, so I'm going to help Save Whiskers. I'm also going to show a really cool George Perez item that I picked up for myself. I thought I would share it for everybody. There's going to be so much more. So, this Friday, November 17th, after Weiss Auctions, after Hague's, after the cool dueling dealers, which Bill and Mike and Anthony were kind enough to do 1,000 and under, after Heritage, 2 Heritages, and before Comic Link kicks off, the original art experience. So hit that thumbs up, share, sharing is caring. Seriously, we're going to have some really affordable art. There are going to be pieces 100 and below, 50 and below. We're going to have some fun. We will have some marquee art that's going to be really well priced and a good amount of money we're trying to raise for charity. So hope to see you Friday at 7. And did I say hit that thumbs up and share? Because sharing is caring. See you Friday.
Exactly. See you tomorrow, Nick. All right. Well, now we can dive into the CAF update and see where that ended up. I think it was an interesting week. You figure with Comic Card Live, I thought it was going to mess things up, as it has sometimes in the past. Steelers had a rough week. So this is from the 6th through the 12th is what we're going to be looking at here. And I swear I loaded up the videos. Yes, I did. Okay. So with dealers, they made 171,000 in sales last week, which is better than the week before where they had 160. So that's not too terrible, I guess. Ramita Man had 22 sales, $70,000. Felix had 38 sales, 50,000. Anthony had 44 sales, 17,000. Albert 12 at 15, and Scott Eater had 1 at $12,000. Now, I can tell you it was funny. Some of Mike's sales actually came from Dueling Dealers lots that he has been holding since 2021.
Whoa.
Yeah. We do have a few, buyers that have, not paid in a long while. And I know that, yeah, so this was somebody who Mike was, I think probably had to threaten to like put them back into circulation because it had just reached the point where he's just like, come on, it's been 2 years for some of these pieces. And they had put like a down payment, but then nothing, for like a year. So it was good to see, because when I saw him, I'm like, did that guy finally pay? He's like, yes, finally. Wow. So we'll see what those are here. Let's see from the dealer side. First up, this is one of them. This one was from I think the oldest piece, from like sometime in 2021. Jack Kirby from the Kirby Collector number 3. It was a back cover to that. Asking price on this one was $18,000 when it sold, and I think it was early 2021. around I think like April. And this is an eater sale. This is the $12,000 piece that he had. Von Bode Erotica #7 from Cavalier. Oh my goodness, haven't heard that title in a while. From 73. Captain America Annual. This is another piece that he was sitting on for a long time. More than 2 years, went for $6,700. Then another one. This was a $6,000 zombie illustration by Bernie Wrightson. This one went for $6,000 as well. Well, the other one was 67. Then we've got a piece that Mike also sold, $5,300. Humberto Ramos, unused cover to Amazing Spider-Man 850. And then Felix on this last one, Transformers issue 1 page cover by Bertram. So I assume it's one of the variants from that, and this was $5,000. So
No question when Ian Bertram is doing it.
No, not at all. You know his work from a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. So next up are the auction houses, and we had a glitch in our eBay crawl. So I know, like when the mailing went out, it didn't have eBay's data in it, but we did get the crawl settled, sort of. At least I was able to get the data worked out. So auction houses between eBay and Heritage for the week, we're at 284,000. That's down from 338 the week before. But that week before had some special, I can't even remember what it was. It wasn't a Garfield one, but it had a special illustration auction in it, I think, that goosed it up. So it's about average, 284. What was it? 171 came from eBay. 113 came from Heritage. So let's see the top 3 from each. First up, this seems like a decent buy here. But anyway, so there you go, 284, 585. Number 1 at eBay was this Walt Kelly Pogo and Pals illustration, which went for $4,500. Pretty cool. Sundays go for a fair amount, but that's a nice illustration on its own. Don't know if it was published. Then you have a pair of Invincible pages by Cory Walker, both from issue 86, pages 13 and 14. Went for $3,499. Then a Chris Achilleos to Ride a Pegasus painting. Yeah, that's kind of cool I mean, Achilleos left us, 16 months ago or so, but love his art. And that one went for $2,560. Then over at Heritage, we got this Walt Simonson, Dan Green, Legion of Superheroes page that went for $3,960.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Then I think this was a set of sketches. We're only showing the one here from Roy Krenkel. So there was the note is that it had illustrations, sketches, and a story page for $3,120. Good stuff. And then we have this Droids page from issue 8 by Ernie Cohen and Al Williamson. I mean, whenever I think of Droids, I always think of Ramita Sr., but Cohen with Al Williamson inks, pretty nice, $2,880. I'm sure a Star Wars fan was happy when they got that piece.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have it. That's my calf update side of things with sales details. So now we can swing into the picks for the week. Except
we're homing in on record time here, Bill.
I know. Wow. Yeah, this is kind of nice.
Well, it's not. I'll tell you, light tonight.
After next week, it's probably going to be 3-hour shows all the time, just because of all the stuff we have going on with OAX and. I know it's going to be like lock in and be ready. But yeah, I'll tell you one thing I'm going to do. I really am going to be taking it easy on the, deciding on doing more Monday and Tuesday shows. I'm going to scale back a bit and not go as heavy because there's so much stuff going on with OAX. I just have to do it. There's just no way. And, and that part was also leading into the idea of weaning, kind of scaling back the dueling dealers a bit, still keeping Wednesdays a sale night, but doing the amateur matches over there, make offer shows, potentially doing an artist sale show on a Wednesday night, still keeping most of the artist stuff on Saturdays. But yeah, I got to get a bit of a better schedule back. And I don't want to. So let's see here. Let me get your picks up and resize the window a little bit here. There we go. So whose collection are we starting off with here? Foggy Bottom.
Yeah, the baller himself.
Yes.
So I feel like if I have a criticism of Ivan Reyes, it's often how busy things are. But I feel like when you're drawing Lobo and you can get gore involved, then that really that's his wheelhouse then. So this excels for all those reasons. I mean, you've got all these guys with fur on them and whatever, and he's gleefully gutting all of them. So as far as a characterful piece, this is dead on. I mean, this is tonally what we all want from Lobo. And like I said, I just think for this artist's particular kind of I don't know, skill set, if you want to use that term, this is a perfect match.
Oh, definitely. I love the composition on this. It has, I mean, I don't mind that it's busy. I mean, how many characters is he battling in this thing?
20.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like that. I mean, he's really crammed a lot into this, and it's wonderfully gory as you'd want with a good Lobo page. Yeah, this is great. Prado's inks on this are really nice too.
Super tight. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like it. Well, it is a baller piece. And what I didn't even read what was this? Oh, so it was a Justice League of America cover. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I like it a lot. Congrats to Foggy Bottom. Gets my like on that one. Then we have a Jim Chung piece, and this is in Malvin's Calf Gallery. Oh, he's got a nice, huge skin.
Yeah.
Whoa.
One of the reasons I picked this is because you can really dial in on those Chung inks. I like, for some reason, I don't know, this harkens back to kind of more Ditko-ish Spidey, where he's a little creepier looking. The eyes are more old school. There's more webbing. You really pack the webbing into the costume. The underarm webbing is on full display. I love the spotlight effect on the character and how it diffuses out with the ink splatter. I think that's a really cool effect. And I just think maybe more than anything, this highlights what Jim Chung puts into a commission. I mean, these things are nuts in some cases.
Yeah, wow. I did ask Jim about coming to OAX early on, but he was non-committal, so I never followed up with him. But it was early. It was in February or March. So and then things just got out of hand. But yeah, I love his stuff. He's somebody I definitely enjoy seeing it at OAX one day. But yeah, this is a great piece. And you're right, the spotlight really is it's bright, isn't it? I mean, it's really well done.
Yeah. I think he really, if there's something that he can noodle on as costume elements or background elements or whatever, he goes all in. And I've seen him just fritter over something one little area of a piece. If you ever get the chance to watch him draw at a convention, he really, I think, loves to noodle on things, and it shows here.
Let's see. I don't think got to get that on there. Congrats, Melvin, on that pickup.
I think you skipped one.
Oh, did I skip one?
I think.
Let me see. Maybe I missed it on my list when I was putting in there.
Maybe not. Is this
maybe I might have. Maybe I've got them out of order.
Oh, okay. No worries.
I know I've got 10 tabs open.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe that's what I did. All right. So we got Superboy's Legion issue 2, page 21. Alan Davis and Mark Farmer.
This is when they put Alan Davis on these Prestige Legion limited series, I was in fanboy heaven, because he took an artist who for me, obviously was always traditionally a Marvel artist or a UK artist, and put him on maybe my favorite DC book in Legion. And this page in particular, my favorite Legionnaire is Ultra Boy. He's duking it out with these guys. His girlfriend is on the same page. This just as far as a page from this book is concerned, this would be a grail one for me.
Well, it's fantastic. You've got them in space throughout the whole thing. I mean, it's like a big splash with page with lots of panels on it. But yeah, I love the panel construction here too. I mean, it's funky, but it works. It works really well. I mean, you think trying to slap two characters in panels like that just would never work well, but he does. He's got just enough in there, with their faces and everything to make the panel to make it work. But it is Alan Davis. So yeah, wow,
Yep.
this is nice.
And it's almost got like he's fighting these little like apparitions or like whatever they are. I can't really remember from the book, but it almost has like a cross time caper like Excalibur element to it. Those like little weirdo cartoony villains, and they're kind of getting smashed into dust. So it's got a lot of Davis like hallmarks in it. And I always really like when somebody can draw the Legionnaires and make them look like they're young. Right. And he achieved that too, like in the builds and the faces, like the whole thing. So this is like a perfect page in my mind.
Yeah. I love this guy getting smashed in the face by the yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, no, this is great. Really, really nice. And I didn't check I think I actually picked something from Gerard too. Try not to do that, but I'm pretty sure I did. So
art is the art.
Yes, exactly. All right. So Matthew P's Calf Gallery, a Brave and the Bold variant cover. Wow, this is nice.
Right?
Yeah, I know. And it's like, again, it's back to Frank Cho is so darn good.
Yeah.
It's like Mignola. You have to overlook him sometimes because you could almost,
every
week pick anything, something from him. But this is
drapery. If you give the guy drapery to draw, you're in for a treat. Mm-hmm. So like the way he treats Superman's cape here, is it overwrought? Yeah, 110% it is. But does it look great? Yeah, it looks great. So I'm not a big Superman fan by any stretch of the imagination, but when you see one of these really incredible, iconic images of the character, I think it does something to all of us, honestly, just as comic fans. Mm-hmm. And this is definitely one of those images. Like he's, square jawed, handsome. Like this is impeccably inked, of course, because it's Frank Cho. There's the doves flying in the background. Like I said, his cape, the anatomy, the musculature are dead on, of course, because it's Frank Cho. But I mean, this is just, I think we forget how great Frank Cho is at drawing basically everything because he's so great at drawing women. A little bit like the Adam Hughes curse, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this is just an incredible example of how just flat out incredibly he can draw.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And you get the Daily Planet down there as well, and a little bit of cityscape. Yeah, it's fantastic. Frank is. You're right. There's certain artists that because they draw women so well, you kind of forget that they can do a decent dude every now and again. Mm-hmm. And this is a good one.
I was for the Adam Hughes commission opportunity. I was like, man alive, God, would I love to check that off the list. And then I thought I would have to get him to draw the Thing, because he does.
Right.
He's so good at it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, well, who, if I ever needed to sell this thing, who would ever want that? They're like, you got to commission Adam Hughes and you picked the Thing.
And you picked the Thing, right? You could have picked Sue Storm, but you had to pick the Thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably true. Not the best investment, but I get it. But you know what? I mean, you'll be able to get $100 head sketch from him at OAX of the Thing. He'll happily do that. I mean, why not? Or do you already have one? Do you have something by Adam Hughes?
I do not have a thing from, no pun intended, from Adam Hughes. Both of my brothers have Adam Hughes pieces, and I do not.
Well, then now's your chance.
Yeah.
He does them. I know he sketches like 3 hours a day at shows, so I'm sure he'll figure how many of those he could probably get a couple hundred of those done for everybody during the weekend. Wow. A female thing. This is Chuck Arnold.
There you go. Yeah. I'll say it's Sharon Ventura.
Yep. That's funny. Mikhail said, I have a bunch of Adam Hughes Thing, but he's wearing clothes the Snort doesn't want.
It's true. He's in a suit. I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. But yeah, I didn't really follow the requests to Adam that he got, but I'm sure they were all female. I'd be shocked if they weren't, but he, they were pricey, but at the end of the day, the opportunity that I'm sure isn't going to come up again for a while to get those. So my hat's off to him. The thing is, you figure all those are getting delivered at OAX. We're all going to get to see him. That's going to be the cool thing. So
The cool thing would be to own one, but it'll be nice to see them all.
Yes, well, you can shed a tear if somebody picked the thing. So, and you get to
Oh.
see it.
I'll shed blood.
Yes, yes, exactly. But yeah, I can't wait to, Adam is doing something really cool with regards to the auction piece. So I
Is it
haven't.
the entire Fantastic Four?
No, it's not. I'm sorry, but I guess it could be. I actually didn't tell him what he had to do, but I gave him some suggestions, and
Yeah.
I did actually get an email from him today that he was finishing up the inks on it on it today. And I said, "You're going to send me." I said, "I won't share it with anybody, but you're going to show it to me soon, right? You're going to send me a picture or something. I got to see what this thing looks like."
It's good to be the king, right, Bill?
It is. It definitely is in this case. But like I said, that's why the whole commission thing with them was a surprise, because getting him to do a really cool piece for the auction was like, that's all I want,
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's talk about this artwork. And I skipped over who's Michael Benham. Okay, awesome. So and this is was it a commission? Yeah, it's a commission. Man-Thing and Spider-Man. Nick Bradshaw.
So I loved the odd pairing because you get this juxtaposition of like textures. So Man-Thing, obviously all gnarly, crazy, like inked to the nines. The background is so like frittery and meticulous and like all the stuff that we love about Nick Bradshaw. And then when you scroll down, there's like almost the like cartoony by comparison Spidey. And I think this works so well.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And like the little white outline that he left around Spider-Man, like just makes him pop out. He almost looks like a sticker on this piece. And I think tonally that works so effectively. And I think it's such a great like graphic device almost. It just like this to me was it blew, it like absolutely jumped out as a thumbnail. And I was like, well, I'm definitely picking that.
No, it's awesome. And yes, it was. There have been Marvel team ups. Marcus is right, but yeah, I love the way it was drawn too. I mean, the difference between Spider-Man and then just this swamp. Well, not just this, Man-Thing in here, but the swamp around him. And look at the cross hatching on some of this stuff. This is
it's amazing,
really, really cool. And I didn't really look at it before, but like you said, the white outline around Spider-Man and the heavy black outline that he's using on the Man-Thing in many different spots here is really kind of a nice contrast. And he overdid the background. He didn't need to draw that much, but boy, it does look nice, doesn't it?
But if you commissioned him, like I feel like if you're commissioning Nick Bradshaw, this is what you want.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Wow. Nice piece.
Now that I'm looking at it again, though, look at how effectively layered it is. Like Man-Thing stands out from the background, Spidey stands out from Man-Thing, and like the whole thing is still really cohesive.
Right. I mean, as tight as all this is, there's actually more white here in the foreground to give you that same feeling, right? And because he could have left, he didn't need to noodle all these things in there, but putting that in helps push all that to the back.
Yeah.
It's a great piece. Very, very nice. And you get a little spider web up there too. A couple of them. I love it. I'm liking this piece even more. Michael Benham, you did good. Let's see here. Alberto Breccia. Let's see. Nady, aka
Nasuno.
Nasuno. I'm not familiar with that.
So I picked so I think anybody who's watched this, who watches me prattle on about art on this show has seen, more than a couple times. I love type. I love the use of type. I love the use of, particularly type as an element in a composition. And that's really like everything that's happening here is about the type in this piece. And, Breccia is obviously, he's famous for making wild choices with his textures, with his art in general, but with his compositions, with his subjects, like everything. Like he's really, I would say at the time was like very avant-garde, and like this, that's on full display here. So I absolutely love that's a building sound effect, right? Like it starts small and it's off in the corner, and then like the character takes notice of it and it's getting larger, and then all of a sudden it's like all he can hear, and then all of a sudden it's all you can hear, it's all you see.
Right.
I just think that's so amazing, so beautiful on the page, really. I mean, if you know anything about type, I mean, this is all hard to do.
Yeah, I love how he's getting whatever, this is a dry brush he's using there, or it's
Maybe
almost,
with a sponge.
I was gonna say it's got a
Like
texture to it almost.
yeah,
So yeah, that's
or a
that's
Q-tip.
really, really nice. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I was hoping I could make it out, but I can't. It's definitely not like he's not using his finger. He's definitely using
No.
something. Like you said, maybe it's a sponge, but wow. Yeah, no, it's a beautiful piece. My goodness.
I'd be thrilled to own this.
Look at that. I love the fact that he doesn't outline the head. He lets
Yep.
the letters just kind of bleed into his arm. I mean, this is great. Chuck says he likes the line work in the face. Exactly. I mean, it's so well done. I mean, yeah, this is really, really, really nice. Huh. Sponge worthy, says Marcus. And this is in Matt Dick's class. Yep. And you know what? I think I actually picked something from Matt too. Oh. All right. Well, so there we go. We're gonna have 2 pieces from each today, everybody. Sorry to say.
I mean,
but,
like I say, the art is the art. I mean, if you've got a great eye and you've been buying great stuff, I mean, chances are you're going to make it on here. What does he have for the the additional image? I didn't look.
oh, a detail.
Is it?
Oh wow, yeah, super.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm thinking it's a Kleenex.
Yeah, it does look smeared, doesn't it? Like he's pushing it a little bit. So, yeah, that's nice. Wow.
And there's Chuck's face.
Let's see, where is it? Oh, there he is. Yep, there you go, Chuck. Even
That is
closer.
gorgeous. Yeah, and to your point, Bill, look how like vacant the rest of it is, but the shapes are there. There's an arm, and then he decides like I'm gonna do the folds on the sleeve at the elbow.
Right.
Wow.
This is great. This is really, really nice.
It's just so ballsy.
Yeah. Wow. Well, hey, if Jeff's saying comments on your art, you got something good. But yeah, this is fantastic. Wow. Congrats to Matt on that one. Then let's see, we got a Stephen Green, and this is in Victor Bracamonte's calf gallery. Let's see here. So Stephen Green. Wow, what is he doing there to get okay. This is kind of I didn't look at this piece beforehand. This is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think that's Zip. I don't know anything about Berserk. So, full disclosure, like this could be very characterful. I'm guessing it is. But I just thought that this was such an insane subject. Like whatever's going on in the background there, I mean, is definitely like worth looking at additionally. It's like a porcelain, like a woman's crying face shattering, and there's faces screaming inside of it. I mean, I'm maybe that's from the comic, maybe that's Stephen Green's Twisted Sensibility, but I think this is, this works as a pinup. I mean, like we say kind of cavalierly, like, oh, this is a pinup when it's a commission, but this could easily be a pinup or a cover or whatever. I just think that this is like fun to look at. And there's a lot, technique wise happening here that I'm a big fan of. There's brushwork, he's done some like splotchy stuff where it looks like he kind of like just let watery ink drop down on the paper, and using that as a, pattern or texture on those pipes, or I don't know, veins, maybe, whatever they are.
Yeah.
And then in addition to the zip and, that diffuse, like the fade out on some of those panels is really well done. And like the choice of tone, I think is really interesting too, because the central character, who I think is called Femto, is basically one tone with like just a few highlights. And I think given everything else that's going on in this piece, I think that's a cool choice.
Yeah, no, I like it too. It's the zip is just amazing, I think. But yeah, really, it's just interesting. I've never because I've never really paid too close attention to Steven's work, but I love it. I love the real delicate light line work he's using here, and whatever structure that is. Yeah, this is. I didn't see this piece added to CAF last week. It's great. Huh. No, wait,
So it's always fun for me when something like when I see something that I really don't know anything about the character. I have no background on it.
mhm.
So that it hits you in a different way or on a different level when you're just struck by the art itself, and that's the case here.
True, and it's almost like they're monkeying around with the anatomy. I mean, clearly it's not a human because of the structure. So like the musculature is a little different, but that just makes it all the more interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. So Mikhail says green is amazing. Well, he gets my vote for being amazing as well. So congrats to Victor for this one. Then this is big shift. We got Ron Wilson now from Marvel 2-in-1, which I think is a Thing book, if I'm not mistaken, from 1977.
You are correct, sir.
Let's see. Wow, nice. And wait, now who is the inker on this one? Oh, John Taglione. Yes. All right.
So I'm to be perfectly honest, not a big Ron Wilson fan. Which is a surprise to a lot of people when I tell them how much I love the Thing, because of what a huge chunk of that guy's career was wrapped up in drawing Ben.
Mhm.
But I just liked how one, this is a great example from the run. 2, it's a battle page.
Yeah.
3, he's smoking Submariner in that third panel. I mean, smoking him. So that was a big win for me. But I just kind of like how like batshit this page is. Like there's these mermen and like there's a lady with a globe on her head. It's clearly taking place underwater, but Ben doesn't seem to need to breathe. Imperious Rex in that last panel. So yeah.
Well, we never see Ben's mouth. So maybe he's got something. I don't
A
know.
rebreather on? Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, that two-fisted punch to Subby right there. Yeah, should have knocked his head off.
He's got it coming.
Yeah, you're weakening, Gills. I feel you falling at last. I'm finally pounding you to smithereens. Well, he's talking, so I guess he can't have a rebreather.
Oh, but I always knew I could smash you if I wanted to. Adam, right on.
Imperious Rex. So yeah, this is a page after Mr. Barucci's and your hearts, given this he's a Subby fan. Yeah, no, not bad. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Ron Wilson's, he's either on or he's off. This is a decent page though. I like this one a lot.
Marcus, I'm not acknowledging Alicia because she's a trifling hoe.
Yeah, okay. Moving right along. So congrats to what was it, Matt D. Thank you, Matt, for posting this to CAF. Almost his 5th year on the site. Now Javier Fernandez, King Spawn, and is this it's a DPS. Oh, interesting. Okay. Can't click on this one though, but very.
I didn't realize that. That's a heartbreaker because really, I think what's best about this is all the stuff that's going on in those little vignettes that are framed by the chains.
Right.
I just thought that was such a clever idea for a composition. That alone, I was like, I have to pick this. That is such a cool idea, and it's so well executed. And Spawn's always got chains flying around. Somebody finally made a cool composition, or I shouldn't say that. Well,
there's panels. It's a panel layout basically, right? But no, I mean that is pretty cool, and it's all kind of like dreamy memory kind of stuff too. Yep. So I like the fact that it's not all consistently one tone. Like this shape right here, it has a lot of lights in it, and it is cool. I've never read a lot of Spawn, but I've not seen anybody do that before. So
nope, same. I thought it was worth discussing a little bit.
It's like a middle splash. You got that right, Marcus. So sometimes we have to invent terminology in this hobby. It just happens. Let's see. So it's a good one. So who's CAF going? Mike Smith with their 3-year anniversary tonight. Mike needs to add an avatar for himself. I'm curious what color version. I'm like, well, it's not terrible. Very, it's kind of
Black and white's
painterly.
better.
Yeah. Spawn is unreadable. Delight loves movies. Says. That's why. I mean, honestly, I think I probably read about 3 issues of Spawn. I just never was my thing. I watched the movie, even still.
You know
I
what
didn't, I
though?
still didn't.
I've said this a couple times recently. There are some really top tier, awesome new artists working on that title.
Right. Well, Vaughn Randall
in
did
that
the
universe.
covers, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm liking Vaughn's artwork more and more. You know, really, those 4 pieces he had in the X-Men drop were really nice last Saturday, and he's.
I can't read the book either, but I do like to see this stuff on CAF.
Yeah. All right, we got one more here, and I'm familiar with this piece because I had it here at the house for a while.
Ooh,
Yes, this is that Tim Sale Deathblow pinup that we couldn't find where it was printed, whether it was or it wasn't. But I mean, it's cool, and it's totally the right era. And it was, as you can see, it actually says number 11 pinup, and issue 11 was the only one where they didn't print a pinup in the back of the book. Numbers 1 through 12, except 11, all had a pinup, and most of them were done by Tim. So I think it sucks. It was like it was definitely done for it, and then somehow missed getting printed. But yeah, this was I mean, honestly, I started thinking I should just pick up this piece. But
it's incredible, and I think, I don't know. I feel like we know what Tim Sale kind of like became known for, right? Like the single color Marvel books and like all the Daredevil Yellow and Daredevil Red and like all that kind of stuff. And I think that was like his, it was a beautiful progression and, unquestionably gorgeous. But I think that this is kind of like a misunderstood or maligned portion of Tim's contribution to the medium, because I think these are great. And, you can argue that there may be derivative or a sign of the times or whatever, but I just love these. I think they're powerful. I think they're stark. There's not a lot of nuance to this, but you can't deny that like the light and the shade is like incredibly well done in spite of how stark it is. And I think this is a cool composition. Like what he chose to put in and what he chose to take out, I think is masterfully done. And I think, if you're like me and you love art with a hulking dude with a big gun on it, this is like top notch.
Yeah, nope, I agree. And what is it? 9.5 heads tall, but it works. I mean, I had this thing in my possession for like a month, and really nice. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I was helping out Jimmy. Jimmy had a friend who was selling some artwork, and I was like, sure, I can do it, and we did it. But yeah, I was really happy when Daryl picked it up, because I knew it was going to go to, there was several people who were interested in it. Yeah, but Daryl got it, so good for him. All right, man. Well, those are a very good set of picks. I will swing over and get my 10 set up as well. And go share you screen.
I heard James is into big guys. That's interesting, Marcus. Tell me if you know any more. Message me offline and tell me if you know any more.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. So first up, this is in Aranga's, right? It was Aranga's piece. Let me double check that. Yeah, Aranga's CAF Gallery, Adam Polina commission. And let's see, what do we got here? So, Aranga's a big cable collector, loves to commission artists for cable, and Adam Polina can clearly do a very mean cable.
Yeah. I feel like at this point, if you see cable art and you're jealous of it, it's his.
I know. How does he get so lucky? Does he just kind of lay down his pedigree? I am the great cable collector.
He's like, by the way, I'm also an artist.
Yeah, and I'm an artist. But you have to. Yeah. But he has to show him it's like, this is the standard that you must live up to. And then all the artists just like knock it out of the park.
I got to start doing that with a thing.
You do.
But like, I'm the preeminent. Not that I am, but I like to think.
You probably are, as far as thing collectors go. There's not many of you, but you are at the
Cyclops collector.
I know.
Bong collector.
All right. See, I know it. Hey, we've all got our things.
We
the
do.
Cable guy, says Rick Welch. But but no, I mean, Polina is somebody who well, and the other reason I brought up it was funny because Aranga said, hey, Polina is actually doing a Kickstarter. So hey, look, I even had it queued up here, right? It's my second slide.
Ah,
Adam Polina is doing something. I forget who he's doing it with. Rebel Studios. It's something. What was the book called? Icon Anthology. That was okay.
They
So it's
blew
got
out their
several
goal.
creators as part of it. Ends in 2 weeks. So Aranga, you can let Adam Polina know, who I did email with, by the way. Aranga hoped I could get him on the show, and I'm just like, I am so busy. I can't get. I don't have any time to do any special PR, but I did it. So if Aranga's watching this later, please let Adam know that I did it. So it's called Icon, EY3KON Anthology over on Kickstarter.
That might even be a 0.
You're right. It may be a 0 now that I'm looking at it. It probably, yeah. Well, it's got to be. Look, the O in Anthology.
Mhm.
All right. So there you go. You don't spell it out. Just type in this, because the way I found it, I typed in Adam Polina Kickstarter. It was the number one result. So
Yeah.
that's how you'll find it. But anyway, so back to that. Obviously, and Adam in his, when I emailed with him, he said that he's like in Spain or something like that right now, and he said Aranga was coming to visit. So hey, Aranga's a jet setter now too. So nice pickup, Aranga, and nice Polina artwork. Polina, of course, I think is probably most well known for some work with the X-Men back in the 90s. But yeah, he's got some good stuff, and he's done a lot of different things in his career, not just comic book art. So then we have next Mikhail, who left us about 10 minutes ago, unfortunately, but it was dinner time at Mikhail's home. This is Nir Levy, and I think anybody who's seen any work by Nir, just, if you like indie artists with a really different, viewpoint, Nir, is really, he's just an amazing artist. I mean, I love this piece. We tried to get Nir to come out to OAX this year, but it didn't happen. But obviously he works with TD Art Gallery, Tatiana. So, and I think he's regularly taking commissions, but his stuff is it just keeps getting better. I mean, look at all the detail he packs into this, and he does this like all the time. He packs in a lot in his commissions, and he always has an interesting bent on the characters. I mean, this is, I mean, look at this. It's awesome. He's I love, I love the reflection in the surfboard there. But look at the way he drew the surfboard. Yeah, just he definitely just changes things enough to make it him. I mean,
put a stamp on it.
But right, and I mean, he kind of gets all funky with the anatomy here, but it all works. It's fine. So yeah, love it. It's got a lot of depth and detail, says Steve Lipsky. Indeed, it does. So and I was going to mention Galactus. He's taking liberties with the costume. I mean, just he just has fun with it. I mean, everything he does, he just kind of he makes it his own, like you said. Oh, see, so he must have gave him a little bit of direction. A tribute to Goya paintings. Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. Oh, I like that. But anyways, yeah, Nir is great. I hope to have, he's somebody that Kazra and I really wanted at OAX this time around, but he'll definitely be somebody we invite early after the first show's over, so we can try to get us on his schedule. So then I picked this Dan Mora.
Oh, this was so cool
piece. Isn't it awesome?
Yeah.
I love the composition on this thing. I love how the you get Godzilla going into this dark shadow, and then you end up with which helps pop out Batman and Wonder Woman and Superman. I just love this piece. I just think I love the textures throughout it. I love the way he approached handling the inks on Godzilla. The way it's because he's really working on putting texture in there by doing that. And he could have left all that out. He could have done it really, really differently. But he worked his ass off on inking this piece. And then even the hair. I don't know who this Kong, is. Yeah. On Kong. Oh, it's Kong. That's right. I didn't realize it. Yeah. I mean, look at that. I mean, this is it's heavy here. It's lighter hair here. I mean, he just put a hell of a lot of work into this thing.
The inking on Godzilla is also like really directional. Like it makes you feel like the character's like flexing, kind of like the head is, you know, tilting away based on like the angle of the inks, and then the spines on the back are all like the inks are all like directed out.
Yeah. No, it's amazing.
Yeah, I love Dan Mora.
Yeah, this is I couldn't pass that one up after I saw it. I was
I
like,
also
"Damn."
am I crazy, or do I see a little Parlov in that Superman?
Oh, maybe a little.
A little bit.
Yeah,
Worse
no,
people to take influence from.
sure. No, I like it. I think it's and who is this? Oh, Simon K. All right. Yeah. I like this even more. The more I'm looking at it. It is very special, that's for sure. And I just saw that Matt Moore said he bought a near piece that he's going to get picked up at OAX. Awesome. Remember that, everybody, that all these reps coming in here and some dealers, you can get free shipping. Just have them carry it with them. They won't swear at you too much.
Good point. They're going to bring it anyway.
Exactly. So then we have this Batman Adventures 22 cover by Parabek and Burchett. This is in Kareem El Rafe's calf gallery. I really like the composition on this. I like all the amount of work he had to put in to put all these TV screens in the background and get, you know, just something different in all of them.
Yeah.
The more I look at it, I just love it as a graphic work of art. I mean, you're dealing with Two-Face anyway, so just compositionally, this thing is fantastic. It's almost like the Man-Thing and Spider-Man, except
almost
expect technology behind him instead of a swamp, and it's just as good.
Yeah, and Two-Face literally bifurcates the piece. Like his split is dead in the middle of the art.
Yeah, this is that's funny. This is really, really a great piece.
It is.
I like this one a lot.
So many of these covers were so good.
Mm-hmm. Man, when was this done? 94 up there, July 94. Yeah, this is fantastic.
And you're kind of like, I mean, for like Ty Templeton, Burchett, like those guys, you're kind of like in the shadow of Bruce Timm the whole time, right? But like they executed these at such a high level. They're so well done.
Yeah. Yeah, man, this is a great piece. I hope you got a lot of comments on it, right? You got 11 comments on it. Good. Deserves it. Definitely deserves it. This is a really nice piece. I got to get my like on there. All right. So then the Bill Sienkiewicz Voodoo Child. This was in Matt's calf gallery as well. I really, you know, it's Sienkiewicz #1. But I just loved, you know, sometimes, you know, Bill's work doesn't, to me, everything just kind of carries through it really well, and it's soft and delicate. You know, a lot of times Bill's work is kind of rough and, you know, aggressive and kind of angry, right? And to me, this is like some of the most delicate work I've ever seen from him. Every one of the, you know, these panels are just they're soft. I mean, they're not, they're almost like, I don't know, man. I just
like shot through a filter.
Yeah, exactly. Because even, you know, so even going close up on it, you know, I mean, you're so used to him having a lot more, you know, just being a bit rougher, but it's not. It's handled so delicately, and shoot, man, it's even better. Again, I love it when I like it more the second time.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a great piece.
I always love how effective Sienkiewicz is at picking, like, even panel by panel, he picks an element and he really dials in that element. And like, he's so effective at drawing your eye to like what he wants you to see.
Yeah, no, this is wow. So Matt, let's see. So how could I not pick this one up? Matt had a couple good scores this week, clearly. All right.
So did Hendrix.
Yeah.
Looks like some horse in that bag.
So here we have a John Buscema, Tom Palmer magic page from that limited series. Really, you know, that was like I love that series. And the thing is, you know, it's funny. The reason I picked this piece, I love it for the backgrounds. You know, when I think of Buscema and Palmer working together, a lot of times it's just I just love the two of them together. And as much as I enjoyed this, you know, this mini series, you know, an early kind of tale for Magic. I just loved the two of them working together. I mean, I'm looking at this now. I mean, I love it just for that. The bricks in the background, the architecture and the archway there, whatever they've thrown in there. I just think it's great. And just as a combo, Palmer inks on John Buscema are lovely. I mean, Palmer inks on pretty much anybody, but I definitely would love to get a page that the two of them worked on together. And this would be a cool one too, to get something from that mini series. But yeah, wow, I like this one a lot.
You can tell that that's what they wanted to draw.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they were into drawing, were those backgrounds.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The rest of the characters are the subjects are almost like ancillary to those backgrounds.
Yeah. This is a good one. And then see, there we go. My other Nadal piece was this one. Yeah.
Worthy.
Yeah. Good couple pickups there for both of them. Then Alex Toth. We find it hard to find a Toth, and even then here he's doing something Terry and the Pirates folio piece here. But I kind of kept coming back to this one. Just
oh man,
I love the bullet holes in the fuselage, in the wing
he's
here.
Inverted.
Oh man, exactly. He's inverted. This thing's in fire. I mean, this one's coming at you over here. This is just such a awesome, crazy, composition and battle that's going on here.
Packed.
And
it's
he's
almost
just
claustrophobic.
It is, and it's really because of that. I mean, he could have done almost anything else. If you take that out, it doesn't have the same feel. But you look at how he to give depth to it, you can see how he's handling the landscape behind it. Tighter, heavier lines, lighter, and then even lighter to the further background. It's just great. I mean, this feels like fire on this plane, and you get the guns blazing here on this guy's thing. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I really thought this thing was freaking great.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And like the weight of the corner with the inverted pilot versus how, I don't want to say loose, but how light the other planes are is just like, I mean, Toth was a master designer, right? And like you see that here because that chunk of visual weight that dominates that triangular shape on the upper right is just so wildly effective. It like brings you right to that piece, and then you're like, oh my god, look at all this other stuff that's going on.
Exactly. No, this is fantastic. And this is in Jeff Singh's calf gallery, of course. Probably one of those pickups from that set that he got, but man, yeah, this is a keeper. 8.5 by, so it's a little small, but it doesn't matter. I mean, that's packed with detail.
Well, when you realize how small it is, it makes the achievement even a little crazier.
Yes. So this is from 87 too. Next up, I've got a Felipe Massafera. And I love the frame on this piece too. It works with it really well. Now this is in Seamus and Sharon's calf gallery. I don't know. We see a lot of Massafera thanks to Mike and having him on Dueling Dealers, and he sells a lot of them privately as well. But I just thought this one was really nice. And I think there was another red composition that we've seen from Star Wars by Massafera. But
I think that
equally,
was Kyle's.
Yeah. Look at this. I mean, I love it. I mean, carrying the red into the Death Star. This is just a fun, awesome piece and a great frame to go with it. Shoot, this is just fabulous.
I like the cameo, kind of in the background with Vader, and then Leighton was talking about this earlier, but that cameo effect of like, okay, there's the looming like portrait essentially, and then you get this like nice full figure at the bottom. His castle's in the mid ground. Yeah, this is really nice.
Yeah, well, congrats to Seamus and Sharon on this one. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I think usually his stuff is a little.
Wow.
I was gonna say it's usually a little oversized, so 21 by 14.
Ooh.
Yeah, just an impressive piece. Now, what do I got for my last two? Because I kind of forgot. Marco Ferrari. This is a Brave and the Bold cover. That it's lots of zip on this thing, right? I guess we
love this.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it too. I thought that it's just fun. The amount of zip put on here, and you could almost say it's like applied carelessly, but it's intentionally carelessly, laid on there. I mean, I love the flash being, sketchy, and then having it go over the, over the edge of him to just kind of implies motion. Yeah, I mean, this thing, Starro in the background, it's just, gosh. And again, he puts down Starro's, shadow on the ground with a different zip there. And it's, I mean, zip isn't for everybody at the end of the day. I think it's definitely an acquired taste. Sometimes when you see it, it's a bit shocking on the modern pieces, but this one's just done really well. I mean, lots of thought. It's not like it's carelessly being put down for effect here. Because I mean, I love, Wonder Woman here has no zip. Well, no, she got zip on her here too. It's just crazy. It's just a great piece. The more I look at it,
I think what's really cool about this to me is that, so I did commission Marco Ferrari.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And I did, yeah, at Heroes last year. And this is and this is coming from a massive Justice League fan. I owned every Justice League comic from Brave and the Bold 28, all the way through like Justice League issue 250, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the absolute last thing that I would have thought to ask Marco Ferrari to do. But look at how cool this came out. I mean, it just goes to show that, like, sometimes, like the old Any Given Sunday thing, like you might get surprised.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is, yeah, I like this thing a lot. And this is in Ron Lim's calf gallery. Congrats to Ron. Ron's
ballsy choice, Ron, and it paid off.
Yeah. I mean, look, I mean, again, I look back to the Flash. I mean, the more I'm looking at him, Flash is like my favorite part of this thing. I didn't even really, because I get so enamored with what he did, with his head and his upper torso. And then I start looking at the rest of the stuff. I miss that he's like blurred out, his hip and his leg there. And the implied motion, just, it's just.
That's the zip too. I mean, the implied motion from the zip is that, like, he, it looks like he's coloring outside the line, so to speak, right? With the zip tone. But then it's also like, well, no, that's because, like, you can't actually perceive the Flash when he's moving that fast. So there's like a little, like, on Ferrari's part, it's a stunt, but when, like, you look at it and you think about it, like, it's like a motion blur that he overlapped the zip on the glove.
Right. Yeah. No. Well, this is a good one. So congrats, Ron, on picking this up, and Ron threw his own colors on it. Ron's a color guy now. I think you've done that a few times, Ron. I don't know if Ron's out here tonight, but no.
Trade dress too.
Exactly. Nicely done. Then one last piece, small sketch, or small scan. Sorry, but oh god, I mean, I wish it wasn't. I mean, I know she's got haunches. I know somebody's going to shout that, but look at this thing, man. This is so unbelievable. I mean, and even if you take her out of the cityscape, the scaffolding, but you throw her in there, and holy crap! I mean, even looking, I can't even imagine how awesome this thing looks in person. I don't know how the hell Anacleto does this. I mean, he is just
another one where you could pick anytime he posts something, anytime somebody posts a piece by him, it's like, oh, that's an easy pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, it was. I saw it immediately. I'm like, yeah, I have to go with it. I mean, yeah, she's got a very sexy body, but the lighting on her, I mean, he hits everything just right. I mean,
a really fun expression on her face, and I mean, the architecture is just bananas on this.
Yeah, no, I mean, the more I'm looking at it, I don't know how the hell he does it. And I've seen a fair number of his pieces, and this is phenomenal. Doggone it.
It's a beauty. I also really love, like, tonally how he makes the figures stand out.
Indeed. And this is in Darren Hutchinson's calf gallery. Congratulations, Darren. Just had his 5th anniversary. Wow, we got a lot of people joining 2018, it seems like. I have to go back and see, was that like a banner year for calf members who have calf galleries? It'd be interesting to see what year was our biggest, because there's a lot of people from that era.
I wonder why that is.
I do not know. I mean, but there's a lot of people that came into the hobby at that time, and a lot of younger people, you know, in their 30s were, I think, just getting started, discovered calf, and I don't know. The gluteus maximus, Antoine, is well crafted, well highlighted. Again, but Anacleto is just that good. I mean, that's amazing. So we did it, Chris. We did it
Early.
It is. What time is it? Quarter to
11. Yeah.
So not too bad. So I have who did I write down? I wrote down Fish, Matt Kennedy, Jason D'Ambrosio, and Chuck Arnold as potential fill-ins that we should reach out to and try to get. Yeah, why not? It's we haven't heard from some of them in a while.
Let's get a dark horse in here. How about an Antoine Dennison? How about a Rick Welch? How about I don't know.
Well, I've asked Rick on before. Rick's turned me down.
Rick
for doing it. I want to interview. And Antoine, I said Antoine should email me. I'd love to have Antoine on here, even if it was just picks. Antoine, if you want to do it, you know my email address, BillyComicArtFans.com.
He knows what he's talking about.
I know exactly. Very insightful all the time. So I'd love to have Antoine on here if you ever open.
Ron Lim, great idea, Marcus.
Ron Lim. I think I've asked Ron to be on too, and he's turned me down. But it's okay. You know, live streams aren't for everybody, and I get that. But
tell Ron that he can wear his Stormtrooper helmet. You can wear your Stormtrooper helmet.
I think you just told him that he can wear his Stormtrooper helmet.
You know he's got one that's got an integrated mic. He'll sound perfect.
Yes, he probably does. But obviously any of those people. But hey, at the end of the day, that just being in the chat is more than enough, of course. But I'm going to reach out to Fish, Matt, Jason, and Chuck, and we're going to try to work it out. I'm just not sure if Antoine, you're in the chat, man. You are always incredibly insightful. You know,
also, we're asking you. Oh, Ron will come on. All right.
No, this is great, Ron. Honestly, man, that's awesome. Well, let's do it. Okay, I'm putting Ron Lim and Antoine on here, but Antoine, I don't know your email address, so you got to shoot me an email.
All right.
But yeah, why not? This will be fun. I mean, we like I say, we're trying to shuffle things around. Let's get a few guest pickers in here, and I've
got one hoof in the glue factory, fellas. Like we need to get some fresh blood in here.
And I would tell everybody too. I mean, yeah, and I already have a pretty good list of people who want to do amateur matches and stuff. But if there's those of you who are out there who wouldn't mind throwing your hat in the ring every once in a while, shoot me with an email on that. Happy to add you to the list, because I think we're going to start doing a few more of those on Wednesdays in 2024 and going forward, and that's a good thing. It always was. That's why when I started thinking about who did I want to ask for my first, amateur match on a Wednesday, it was like, I got to get Jordan and Dino back, because those guys were so great early on, and it was their idea. We wouldn't even have amateur matches if it wasn't for the two of them.
Then they have to do it.
Exactly. So they were like, yes.
Awesome.
Do it. Yeah. Chuck he can do it whenever because he's easy. Well, we know
he can even come in cold and talk about picks that he didn't make.
We've seen him do that.
What a stallion he is.
Oh boy. And Tim says he'd do it too. All right. So we got a long list here. So that's great, everybody. Honestly,
see you in a few months.
Exactly, Chuck. We're not going to see Chris at all until like after. We'll see him again at OAX. Everybody, say goodbye to him. But anyways, man, I am so glad you got the DeMeo. I'm very happy that worked out. It's going to turn out great. Somebody's just he's a super talent. I can't wait to see the stuff he does over the next few years. I mean, he is absolutely amazing. Chuck says, "Let me pick for you." that would be fun.
I'll do it.
That actually might. Yeah, that I would actually like to see that.
Pick or not.
That would be. That would definitely be turning everything on its head. But anyway, everybody, it was a lot of fun tonight. It's 10 minutes to midnight. It's great to get done this early. So thank you for tuning in as always. Chris, thank you for doing the picks as always.
Thank you.
I'm off tomorrow, but we will be back on Saturday, 2:00 with Mr. Fred Hembeck. So I hope, it's going to be fun. I mean, I haven't talked to Fred in like 12 years. and he was a lot of fun talking with on the phone today. So I can't wait to get him back on. I think everybody's going to really enjoy just getting to meet him if you've never met him in person before. And again, the 6 pieces we got are just awesome. I think everybody's going to enjoy it. So have a wonderful night, and I'll see you